Bob Evans' creamy mac and cheese and buttery mashed potatoes are made for those holiday moments you just can't plan for. Like when the neighbors burnt their holiday meal and you invited them over. Or that time when everyone's flights home were canceled and they stayed an extra 2 days. So when there is no plan, say hello to Plan B.O.B. When you bring out the Bob, you can take comfort this holiday season knowing you'll always have something delicious on the table no matter what the holidays bring. When you need comfort, bring out the Bob. Available now in your refrigerated section.
Come to DSW for the shoes, stay for the fun. Because let's be honest, if shoe shopping isn't fun, are you even doing it right? So go ahead, try something new. Try something different. Good different. Try something that feels like you. You know, the real you. And then definitely brag about it later. Because at DSW, you've got unlimited freedom to play. With sneakers, boots, and everything in between for every style, mood, and occasion, you'll definitely find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. DSW. Let us surprise you.
Check it out now.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Good Monday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, SiriusXM channel 158. It is Gill Alexander. That right there is Kelley Bydlon, everybody.
Heyo.
On a Monday morning. Guessing lines for Week 12 of the National Football League. That's what we'll get to here momentarily. And a little later on the show, Kelley Bydlon, my little buddy, goes scorched earth on Resorts World. That'll be fun.
Yeah, good times. Good times there.
I didn't really clear that with you. Is that what we want to talk about a little later?
Yeah, we'll talk over it.
That's what's going to happen.
I don't want to go scorched earth, but yeah, it's I have my own personal regrets from that evening, that's for sure.
He went scorched earth on Twitter.
Went scorched earth on Twitter, that's for sure.
I got a text. Should stop me from doing this. Should I do this? I'm like, no, go ahead. We'll be fine.
I was going to say, I might have a couple regrets, Gil. Maybe the few people I texted in the moment were not the right people to text.
Sure, go ahead. You'll be fine. That's what I said. Okay. Let's, as we do, by the way, for those who are tuning in for the first time ever on this, what we do on a Monday morning is try to extract value, I guess, what the line I think will be or should be in the upcoming week's NFL games. Kelley tells me what they are. Within that exercise, we try to find value. It was mixed results last week, but usually a good exercise consistently over time. Yeah, the last week was 2-2. New England was right on Thursday. That instinct, the Niners was right. But I will tell you, Kelley, the two that I was the most confident in, the Vikings and the Falcons, no, not even close. Well, I don't know about not even close. The Falcons blew a 14-point lead. But so it was mixed results last week for sure. So we'll take another stab at it this week. Before we get into all of that, though, let us review Circa Survivor as we do at the beginning of each and every Monday on Guessing Lines here on a numbers game. And we only lost 61. There was exactly 1,000 entries left of the original 18,718. I wanted to get to this graphic second. Let's go to the other graphic first. The graphic that we show every week, Kelley, this is pancaked now from year to year. And this is basically a glimpse into how many entries, what percentage of entries has been eliminated. And there's been 6 years of Circa Survivor. And what we have now is every year, it's kind of now in the same ballpark, right? Even 2020, the very first year, they had a big carnage going from week 11 to week 12, or a big carnage week anyway. So at this point, and just keep this in mind with Survivor at the beginning of every year, 11 weeks in, over 90% gone every single time.
Yeah.
So,
and even if you just remove that first year, right, that's pretty fascinating. Like you're talking about, the bunch up that you have. I mean, everything within 5%.
Now, when you do this early, this graphic, it's really interesting because 2024 was just epic carnage the first 3 to 5 weeks, whereas 2020 wasn't much carnage at all by comparison. Now it's kind of like, okay, well, that's an interesting graphic, but we get it. They're all kind of the same now. Let's go to, let's look at it a different way. This is just week 11 to week 12 every one of those weeks. Maybe this is a different way to look at it. I don't know if this is interesting or not. But there's 2020 where 193 of the 297 going in got eliminated. So it was a big carnage week percentage-wise. That got them down to the 104 left. And then you see last year, remember after the epic carnage, to use that word one more time, it was the epic stagnation.
For weeks, it felt like. For months, it felt like.
It was for months. So only 6 this year. Last year at this time went from week 11 to week 12, got eliminated from week 11 to week 12, down to 99. So only 61 here this week. There are some folks on the Cowboys tonight, so that could change. Tonight is week 11 this year is not quite yet in the books as far as this is concerned. But the actual retail value, right, of each of the remaining 939 entries at this point, Kelley Bydlon, you know what it is?
11,000.
No, you're way down. You're way low.
Oh, really?
$19,933.97. So just shy of 20 large for each one of these remaining.
Nice.
And I think one person has all 10 left, if I'm not mistaken. He went all in on the Patriots. So,
yeah, that's right. We heard that last week, right?
All right. By the way, the Patriots was the most picked. Over 400 of the remaining 1,000 were on the Patriots. And obviously they took down the Jets on Thursday night. So that's where that stands. If you're still in this, good on you. And of course, now as we approach Thanksgiving, I don't think the folks are thinking you can't really make the leap until you get past Thanksgiving. Of those remaining 939, the number or the percentage of which that are going to be playing the Eagles on the Friday after Thanksgiving, so from the next day hosting the Bears, is probably going to be an epic number.
I think you're right.
50% minimum.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, plus just of how many times have we talked about with some of these teams as we do every Tuesday, looking ahead to some of the big options for Survivor that week and big favorites. How many times have we even said with the Eagles, it's like, like other teams like the Packers or whatever. Hey, I think they're not only do you have the holiday considerations to save them for, but I don't think they're playing their best football right now, so it would be another reason not to use them. So I'm kind of with you. I think there's a lot of people we're going to see use them on Black Friday.
Yeah. And as I said last week, if there's only one football game to be played, do you trust any team more than the Philadelphia Eagles? I don't know if you do.
You did say that. I said the Chiefs, and as of right now, you'd be the one who looks smarter than me.
Well, rather than launch into the first game on week 12, which I'll save that for after the break, because I just want to talk about, I was thinking about, on the way in, what's the topic sentence of yesterday in the NFL? And I think it's the bookends of the Dolphins-Washington game in Madrid, Spain, to start the day. You get up at that 6:30 Pacific?
Oh, I was up for about the third quarter, Gill.
Well, I was up for it. Believe me. Will Hill said, we do a segment on the Megapod called Dumbo of the Week, where we look at the coaches. And he said it's a 3-way tie. The Dolphins, Washington, or Mike McDaniel, Dan Quinn, and those of us who chose to watch every play, which is probably accurate by Will. But the bookends of that and then the Lions-Eagles game at night. And the only reason I sort of say that is when you bet these things, the beauty of you betting golf and me betting tennis is there's a assumption of rational decision-making and refereeing, umpiring.
Right.
There's no coaching that's polluting what actually happens on the playing field, and there's no officiating that pollutes what happens on the playing field. So in the Miami-Washington game, which we're not going to get to today really in depth because both teams are going to be in a bye after their game in Madrid. But for those who missed it, the shenanigans at 13-13, right, where Washington has a 4th and goal at the 1, Zach Ertz slips, and it's incomplete. Had the play. Then Miami punts on the next drive, and Sandristil muffs it. So Miami's got the ball at the Washington 42 with 4:11 left. They're not. It's like huge advantage Miami, and they end up 2nd and 5 at the Washington 24 with 2:34 left. And here's where it really. Devon Achane then gets out into the open. And instead of going to the end zone or sliding, he decides to run out of bounds.
Yeah.
That's the first mistake.
Yeah.
Right? So it stops the clock. And Washington at this point has 1 timeout in the 2-minute warning left. And him running out of bounds, it's like, oh, thank you for that, if you're a Washington backer or a Washington fan. So he goes 18, he runs out of bounds, and of course what happens, right? Miami stagnates. They get to 4th and goal at the 1. 4th and goal at the 1 with 1:44 left. What do? Everybody's screaming that Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins should absolutely kick the field goal here. Go up. Washington has no timeouts left at this point. Kick the field goal. They don't. They go for it. Gordon is stuffed. Okay, now people were outraged at McDaniel for this. I have to say this. it is kind of defensible for him to go there.
I didn't really have a problem with it.
Yeah, people were losing their minds, and I get it because it would just be like Miami not to get in the end zone. Of course, they didn't. It didn't have a chance. But again, here's just one bot. Believe in the bots as you will. It's pretty even across the board what you're supposed to do there. Your choice is you're up 3 and Washington gets a kickoff return and a field goal ties it, or you don't get it. Washington has no timeouts, pinned at their 1. It was a 3, actually, because they lost 2 yards. And they have a field goal to win it at that point with no timeouts. But then he compounds it, right, because they don't get it. And then Washington takes over at their own 3 with 1:41 left. They go to Debo for 28, McNichols for 1. Miami calls not one timeout after a run. Remember, McNichols' run. Washington has no ability to stop the clock. Miami calls a timeout. Then they call a timeout after the next play. And you're like, what am I watching? And then Gay misses the field goal in the end. Matt Gay misses a 56-yarder. Mariota throws a pick to begin the overtime, and Miami wins it anyway. But so there was that, right? People already like, what are we watching? If you can't count on these coaches to be present, calling timeouts on defense when Washington has no ability to stop the clock, Achane going out of bounds. Some people had a problem with the 4th and goal at the 1. I understand if you did, it's not, but I don't think it's the most clear-cut decision in the world. And then at night, you have this game between Detroit and Philadelphia where some folks have a problem with Dan Campbell because he seemingly goes for it every 4th down. And it doesn't matter if anytime there's a big moment between the Lions and the Eagles basically take their face and stuff it in the locker room. So he keeps going for it. But then later on 4th downs, he doesn't, which means he is following some kind of analytics-based percentages, I guess. And then this huge defensive football game in the end, Detroit's about to get the ball back with a chance to tie it at least in a 1-score game, down 7, and they throw a flag on a pass interference that was completely phantom. And so I just feel as a bettor and as a football fan, bookending the days with those two things left this taste in your mouth. You're like, wow, we put in a lot of hours for this, just to be torpedoed by the lack of rational thinking and rational umpiring and refereeing.
It might be unexciting today on some of these things. Like it was I wouldn't have thrown a flag there. I'm not shocked at all one was thrown though. Like it's that, I don't know.
I thought it was pretty bad. There was that one, and then there was one in the Miami game where Debo with the Dolphins got flagged for one. It was like, what was that?
Yeah. That one was bad, yes.
I thought they were both terrible. Anyway, we'll get into it. Trying to find some value. Week 12 coming up. Guessing lines here on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
By midseason, the lines get sharper and every edge matters. That's where VSiN Pro comes in, giving you the insights and data to stay one step ahead every week. Sign up now and get instant access to daily best bets from VSiN hosting guests, real-time DraftKings and Circa betting splits, AI-powered prop tools and matchup analysis, 24/7 video and replays on the VSiN Watch app, plus our new college basketball betting guide featuring top 50 rankings, futures, and season-long prop bets. Start betting smarter today for just $9.99 or save 50% with an annual plan. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Y'all are the best. This is from William Rosenkrantz, who says, can we confirm that Gill went into that casino, talk about Resorts World, like Michael Corleone asking Mo Green about straightening Kelley Bydlon out? I did not make it. Maybe I made a call or two, perhaps. Michael Harrison, refs have removed the spontaneous joy that comes with watching football. You can't get excited about anything because there's always a flag on the ground. So instead of the Lions getting a big stop, we get to instead watch Philly run out the clock. Awesome, he says.
I like the first part of that too, of the you can't see a play. If you see a play where you think there's anything questionable that might have happened, like you're like, all right, wait, let me see if there's going to be a flag.
You have to wait 2.5 seconds.
Give it a couple beats.
And then there's the one.
Okay, I think we're good.
And then there's the one where you do wait 2.5 seconds. You still think there's no flag because the announcers didn't catch it. And then there's a flag on
that too.
Yeah. Bo Murphy X going to need Kelley to pin the segment where he explains Saturday night to the top of his Twitter feed, just like Gill recounting his ordeal from the 2018 NFL Draft. Kelley not as excited on Monday morning.
Yeah.
I'm getting the sense.
Gills was also the bigger deal.
Dan Goodwin, we're going to talk about that. A Caesars Sports brutal bookmaking thing. Eric Biggio, you're on call here. Hans Gruber. You chaps rightly point out how whale capper Drew Dinsick was the first to point out alt-season win totals. We're 10 days from Thanksgiving, and New England, Denver, Indianapolis have already cashed their over. Cincinnati, they're under. Real value probably is in the alt totals. Yes, shout out to Drew, who was the first to really talk about that here on the show. Eddie Vegan Runner. Time for my favorite drinking game. Every time Gill says matriculate, I do a shot. Thank you for all the great content. Happy Monday and happy early holidays to you. To you as well, man.
Oh, man.
To you as well. And then Real Knicks, I'll just Ron Burgundy this one. I had a $25 free bet on DraftKings that I used on a potential profitable 14 parlay. Only leg left to win was the Panthers. When Fitzgerald nailed that field goal in overtime, I broke into a celebratory song, and only one song was appropriate. Gordon Lightfoot for the win. And Las Vegas 514, yo, glad my ass was in the DMV and not all the way in Madrid, Spain to see such nonsense. Sheesh. On to next season. Oh, it's been a lost season.
At least we sent them a game that was easy to understand at the end, right?
Sure.
I would have liked to see the guy in the stands trying to explain to everybody what's going on with certain things. This is what the coach is thinking. Oh, wait, I don't know what he's thinking.
All right, let's do it. Guessing lines, week 12 in the National Football League. Yeah. Let's do this.
Week 12? Week 12 of the NFL.
I'd love to say I can't believe it's week 12, but guess what? I can believe it's week 12.
Now, this happens to be every year.
I absolutely can believe it's week 12.
I think I've texted Gill every month, too. I'm like, how is it October already? How is it November already? How is it week 12 already? All right, Thursday night, week 12. We got a good Thursday night game, maybe, I think.
Maybe.
Bills at Texans.
7-3 Bills, 5-5 Texans. Bills and the Bucks was the shootout of the day in the NFL. I don't know if you prefer that kind of game over the defensive struggle we saw last night. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Buffalo, second time they had the ball, first time they had the ball, 2nd and 10 at their own 5. Josh Allen, trying to avoid a safety, an ill-advised push pass from the end zone, picked by Jacob Parrish. And the announcers do everything they can not to say anything bad about Josh Allen when that happens.
How dare you, Gill?
But if that's another quarterback, oh my God, they go crazy.
He's just trying to make a play, okay?
Tampa Bay from the Buffalo 7. They settled for a McLaughlin 23-yard field goal. That would come back to haunt them too. 3-0 Tampa Bay from the 7. That's all they got. Buffalo after Mecole Hardman 61-yard kick return, 10 plays, 36 yards. 4th and 4 the Tampa Bay 30. Allen to Gabe Davis for 7. 6 plays later, Allen in from 2. 7-3 Buffalo. Tampa Bay would answer. This was just back and forth. 11 plays, 69. Mayfield in from 4, out on 4th and inches, 10-7. 12 minutes left in the half. Then Buffalo, 6 plays, 67 yards. Allen to Tyrell Shavers from 43 out, 14-10 Buffalo.
Who's that guy? Anybody else do that?
Yeah,
Shavers?
That's right.
That guy looks good. Where's he been?
Anybody did. Is he related to Ernie Shavers? Tampa Bay comes right back. 6 plays, 66 yards. Tucker in from 43. Sean Tucker, what a game. 17-14 Bucks, 5:37 left in the second quarter. Then Buffalo on a 4 and out, 4th and 2 at the Tampa Bay 43. After a couple Allen overthrows, he's picked off a deflection by Servachier Dennis. You name your kid Servachier?
I like it. It's a good one.
That's a nice one. Buffalo, next time they got the ball from their own 8, though, 20-yard Allen to Shavers pickup, roughing the passer. 3 plays later, Allen to Ty Johnson for 52, 21-17 Buffalo. And then it would be 21-20 at the half. Third quarter, more of the same. Tampa Bay 3 and out, but Hardman fumbles the ensuing punt, recovered by Ryan Miller. Tampa Bay set up at the Buffalo 43, 7 plays later. Sean Tucker in from Ziggs, 2-point try fails, 26-21 Tampa Bay. Halfway through the third, then it would be cut to 26-24. With 5 minutes left in the third. Tampa Bay then, 3rd and 6 at their own 32. Up 2. Baker picked by Cole Bishop. Buffalo 1 play. Allen to James Cook for 25. Touchdown, 31-26 Billiards. Tampa Bay responds again. 9 plays, 62 yards. Baker to Tucker from 28 out. What a day for Sean Tucker.
Yeah.
32-31, 2-point try fails. Early moments of the fourth quarter. Then Buffalo, 8 plays, 81. Allen to Gabe Davis for 22. To Knox for 23 on the drive. Allen in from 5. 2-point try fails. 37-32. And then Buffalo next time after a Tampa Bay 3 and out from their own 15. Allen from 9 out, 44-32. The game would end when Tampa Bay 1st and 10. The Buffalo 31. Baker sacked by Daquan Jones. He fumbles, and Dorian Williams recovers. 44-32 Bills over the Bucks. Owen Wright got himself 1 kickoff return for 25 yards.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, sir.
And Josh Allen played like a god.
That's a
God amongst men.
That's a tough non-cover for those who had Tampa Bay. Not a bad beat, but it's a tough non-cover.
Yeah, I had Tampa Bay. That was I was hoping with the way it was moving that they were going to get in the back door at least, but no, did not happen.
So many lead changes. And then there's Houston, the opposite of this game.
By the way, real quick, I didn't want to cut you off right in the middle. But was either defense aware of like running backs in the flat, or like how many times was that?
So
Like,
bad.
let me just here, Tucker. Like here, take this 40 yards. James Cook, here you go.
This will get into a discussion later about, because we'll talk about, who do you legit think now from either conference can win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And I think the AFC, first of all, I think the NFC is a clear choice of 4, and you can and you can really decide between them because they're all good. And in the AFC, good God, I have no idea.
I think right now, Gill Alexander, we are set up for a very, very, very fun playoffs.
Good God, I have no idea in the AFC.
Yeah.
None.
Me too. I'm with you.
The opposite of that Buffalo-Tampa Bay game was the Houston-Tennessee game. Tennessee, like so many games this year, they take the lead in the first half, and they keep it throughout the first half. By the way, 4th and goal, first drive of the game for Houston. Mills sacked by Cody Barton. 4th and goal to 1. Then Ridley is carted off after 1 play for Tennessee, done for the year. I believe. They said it was a hamstring. Now they're saying it's worse than that?
I'll have to check
We
on
have
that.
to check on that. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I thought it was a hamstring injury. Now I'm hearing worse. Sly kicks a 56-yard field goal, 3-0 Tennessee. That would be the score at the half, because all it was 3 and outs and punts and all that. Tennessee would up it to 6-0 early third quarter. And then finally, Houston, 65 yards, Mills to Collins for 18 and 14 on the drive, to Jaden Higgins for 23 on the drive, Mills to Collins from 3 outs, 7-6. The Texans take their first lead a little more than halfway through the third quarter. 10-6. Then Tennessee, 3rd and 10 at their own 42. Ward sacked by Anderson, fumbles. Anderson recovers. Houston set up at the Tennessee 34. They settle for a Matthew Wright 43-yard field goal. 13-6. Houston. 11:59 left. Now, a couple drives later for 3 drives later for Tennessee, pardon me. They're down 7. They're at their own 5-yard line against one of the NFL's best defenses. And, of course, what do? 11 plays, 95 yards against one of the best defenses in the league. Ward to Van Jefferson from 4 out. We are tied at 13 with 1:35 left. Could it be a Tennessee Titans win? No. Houston, courtesy of a 3rd and 16 at their own 42, where it's a 17-yard completion from Mills to Collins, helps them set up a right 35-yard field goal. Ball game. 16-13 Texans. I will say Buffalo at Houston. I will say Buffalo minus. This is probably Stroud back, we think, for this one?
I would think so, but, man, you never know.
Does that matter? Buffalo minus 4.5.
Right now, you are right on the money everywhere. Interesting line movement in this one, I guess. This look-ahead 3 opened a lot of places 4.5 yesterday, got bet down a little bit with the Texans taking money, but now we're back out at 4.5 pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about you would think about the Texans that would want to take money on them, but I guess cooler heads prevailed in the market. I don't know. I don't think anything. I mean, obviously Texans good on one side of the ball, still not good on the other.
It's going to be a fascinating contrast of styles, I think, from that standpoint, right? I mean, like, anybody can get after this Bills defense.
Strength on strength, weakness on weakness is what that game is. That's your Thursday night football game, obviously with the Thursday night short week shenanigans thrown into the mix. We'll go to Sunday next. No more international games, right? That's it.
No! Keep it in the U.S. Let's go.
And wake up at a reasonable hour on a Sunday. Coming back on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Ready to boost your bankroll? Brocco's giving new depositors a 50% bonus up to $750 in Brocco cash. Just use promo code VSiN when you sign up. Brocco's lines are live on our VSiN betting splits page. See where the action is moving before you bet. Turn your bonus into an edge with insight that matters. Go to Play Brocco, that's BRACCO, playbrocco.com today, and use promo code VSiN. We get tweets of beating the book. Just want to read a few here. This is from Alan Harris. Didn't Busta Rhymes ask us to pass the Cervatier? No, it's Tim Meadows saying pass the Courvoisier, I believe it was. Bridge Suite. Which casino will ban Kelley next? That should be a parlor game. Jack Olaquire. Gill talking about international games. I saw a report where owners are hoping to have 16 of these in the near future. And next year, one in Australia. What time do we have to get up for that one? Not only are they thinking about more international games, they're thinking about having an international team. How's that going to work? Seriously. Again, the only way Major League Baseball could expand to the West Coast if the Giants and Dodgers went together. You can't have one team in Europe, one team in London or wherever. How are they going to travel? By the way, this is a little thing from Connor Allen, NFL. Brutal bookmaking by Caesars, he says here. Caesars voided the under longest field goal in the Giants-Packers game today. I asked why. They said it's because no field goals were attempted. Yet no action on no field goals attempted is not listed in the house rules when you finalize the bet, in your bet slip, or in the market. Caesar's response to this, we are told, there's another one. They reached out and to explain why, and when I asked where I could find the rules, they said not all rules are available. They claim they have, quote, too many prop bets to list all the rules, unquote. Completely invalid argument. If you post a market, rules for that market should be available somewhere, plain and simple. Other books graded as a win as well, not even a significant amount of money for me, but had tons of subs, tail, and don't think this is right. We've seen this one before.
Yeah. Yep.
And, yeah, it'd probably be noted somewhere.
I think it's just, it's a tough one. Yes, I think it should be noted somewhere. I think it's, I don't know how you feel, Gill, but if I see a prop like this or first team to score, right, or, first touchdown to be scored, I think.
What if no touchdown is scored?
That's one of the first things I think of. I don't know if I should expect everybody else to, so I understand where the anger is coming from. I do wish that note would be listed somewhere. I think in an ideal world, that's what would happen. But I just think if you're betting props like that, you got to be careful and ask yourself that question first, and then ask someone who works there. Ask someone who works there if you don't know.
And maybe they won't know either.
They probably won't know. They probably will not.
That's the problem. You ask someone at the counter, they're like, I don't know.
But that information needs to be available somewhere.
Yes, it do.
Whether that's on the app, whether that is someone at the counter, whether that is someone you can call and ask whether it's in house rules.
Sometimes, Kelley, they have it outright listed on the ticket, and then they don't treat it as an outright. That's happened before, too. I won't get into that. What's next?
But never to you, right? All right, Sunday early window, Steelers at the Bears.
6-4 Steelers, 7-3 Bears. This is one of these ones where if you, at the beginning of the season, if I was able to give you a snapshot going into week 12 of this game board and it showed 6-4 Steelers versus 7-3 Bears, you'd lose your mind.
This Ben Johnson thing's really working, which it kind of is, I guess.
6-4 Steelers, Pittsburgh, getting it done yesterday against the Cincinnati Bengals. Opened the game 8 plays, 78 yards. Rodgers to Gainwell from 11 out. Gainwell was everywhere yesterday. 7-0 Pittsburgh, less than 5 minutes in. But then Cincinnati would respond. 71 yards. Flacco to Higgins from 28 out. 7-7. But there was a penalty on the extra point try. So they take it from the 1 and they fail. So it's 7-6 Pittsburgh. It's amazing how many times that happens. Teams get lured into the 1 yard, 2-point conversion. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, we got to go for this now. Nope. You're down 7-6. It'll be 10-6 Pittsburgh at the half. Then 10-9. And Aaron Rodgers had himself a wrist injury or a hand injury. They believe it could be broken. They're fearing that it could be broken. Mason Rudolph came in the game. Obviously, Rodgers never to return. Rudolph to Roman Wilson for 17 on 3rd and 11 at their own 36. Then to Darnell Washington for 17 on 3rd and 17 at their own 46. That led to a Boswell 30-yard field goal, 13-9 Pittsburgh. Then Cincinnati, still only down 4. I mean, this game got out of hand late, but this was nip and tuck for 3 quarters. Cincinnati, 3rd and 9 at the Pittsburgh 35. Remember, they're only down 4. Flacco picked by Kyle Duggar, 74 yards to the house. 20-9 Steelers with seconds left in the third quarter. Then Jalen Ramsey gets DQ'd for throwing a punch. He's not always calm. Let's put it that way. McPherson, 48-yard field goal, cuts it to a one-possession game, 20-12 Pittsburgh, with 9:41 left. It's still a one-possession game. But then Pittsburgh, 65 yards. Rudolph to Gainwell from 5 out, 2 plays after Rudolph to Gainwell for 28, 27-12 Pittsburgh, 3:40 left. And then Cincinnati, 1st and 10, their own 28. Flacco to Fant for 4, hit by Brandon Eccles, fumbles. James Pierre recovers 33 to the house, a second defensive touchdown, 34-12 Steelers in a game that was way closer than the final score suggests. But congratulations to all who had the Steelers in Survivor as well. I was just got the late.
I mean, I haven't seen much of an update on Rodgers. Schefter yesterday had, it is believed to be, quote, a slight break in the left wrist. He's going to be having testing done today, and we'll know full extent. So expect more today.
Not his throwing hand.
Not his throwing hand, correct. Left wrist. So that's part's important.
Here it is, Ian Rappaport. For Aaron Rodgers, who has tested today, whether he's able to play Sunday will be determined by if he can injure himself further and if he can grip a football. He was described as 50-50 for Sunday. That was yesterday. He never came back into the ballgame. Chicago Bears. I had the Vikings in this one, man. I felt great about it. What was my handicap? This is the one where Brian Flores' defense gets to the Bears' offense. That wasn't entirely wrong. It's not like the Bears did a lot offensively. But you know what I didn't count on? J.J. McCarthy not being so great at football, I don't think.
Yeah, they've Minnesota, you got a major problem, it looks like.
3-0 Minnesota. This is in the second quarter. Chicago 15 plays, 74 yards. Manungai in from 1, 7-3 Bears, 4:55 left in the second quarter. Then Minnesota first and 10, their own 31. McCarthy hit low, picked by Kevin Byard. They settle for a Santos field goal, 10-3 Bears with 2 minutes left in the half. And then Minnesota first and 10 at the Chicago 30. They matriculated it. Drink. McCarthy picked by Nishan Wright deep in the end zone. 13-3 Chicago now in the third quarter. Got to 16-3. Field goal fest. Minnesota still can't do anything, right? Minnesota 3-and-out. J.J. errant throw to Justin Jefferson. And Justin Jefferson's frustration is getting palpable. It's actually right there in front of us. Like I think Justin Jefferson is finally understanding what it's like playing with a quarterback who's not that good for the first time in his life, maybe.
Yeah, but even so, I mean, God, comparing and contrasting him and A.J. Brown and how they react to things. Like, it's Justin Jefferson has still been such as professional as he possibly could be, it feels like.
Absolutely. By comparison, absolutely.
A.J. Brown can't stop. He can't stop winning games, and he still can't stop complaining.
That's right. So that's when you know it's really about you and not the team. You're 8-2, AJ. Maybe stop talking. Minnesota down 16-3 after a Miles Price 42-yard punt return, though. They're set up at the Chicago 24. 2 plays, Jordan Mason for 8, Jordan Mason for 16. Touchdown. 16-10 Bears with 12:33 left. And then Cairo Santos goes wide left on a 45-yard field goal try. This is very much up in the air. Minnesota's got the ball down 6, and guess what? 3-and-out after an Addison drop. Addison wasn't helping McCarthy either. Chicago 4th and 5 at the Minnesota 43 with 3:21 left. They're up 6. They elect to take a delay, or they elect and they punt. Did you like that they took the delay there? 4th and 5 at the Minnesota 43 with 3:21 left, up 6. They did not go for it. They said, we're going to punt.
Oh, I hated it.
And in the moment, I didn't like it either. I was like, that's curious. But J.J. McCarthy wasn't really doing much.
I'll be honest, though. At first, I thought it was the timeout coming in at first, which I think that drives me more nuts than anything. Like, fine, take the delay and punt. I hate well, we're going to try to draw you offside, then we're going to burn a timeout, then we're going to decide.
Well, sometimes it works. Minnesota from their own 15 with 3:14 left. 10 plays, 85 yards, including a 4th and 4 conversion at their own 45. J.J. to Addison for 5. 4 plays later, McCarthy to Addison from 15 out. 17-16, Vikings with 50 seconds left in the game. They may not cover, but they may actually win it. Except for the fact that then Devin Duvernay takes the kickoff 56 yards. And just like that, the Bears are set up at the Minnesota 40 with 42 seconds left. All they had to do is get, a few yards. That's what they did. They get it to a Santos 48-yard field goal. Good. Bears win it 19-17. And that goes down, even though he didn't do much on this one, that goes down as another fourth quarter comeback for Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. 19-17, Bears get to 7-3. Bears hosting the Steelers. Both of these teams could be 7-4 after this game, or the Bears could be 8-3. My goodness. I'll say Bears. I'll split the difference between a pick 'em at a 3. I'll say Bears minus 1.5.
Yeah, we opened 2.5, and then this went out to 3. I'm sure some concern about Aaron Rodgers baked into that. I bet the Bears. I bet the Bears on the money line. Nothing big yesterday, but right when these opened up and kind of knowing Aaron Rodgers could be up in the air a little bit, I did take a swing on the Bears.
You did.
I think the first time this year. So, yeah, let's see Chicago.
Bears in playoff position and thinking big things.
Man, I just pulled up the schedule, though. The wins are not impressive.
No.
Not impressive.
No, we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
Coming back, looking for value. Really didn't have much value at all. It's a numbers game right here at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back on a numbers game, live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gill Alexander. It's my little buddy Kelley Bydlon, everybody. Kelley Bydley. We get tweets, beating the book. Money gun guzz. Just like that field goal bet, DraftKings has the same rules for longest touchdown in a game. If there's no touchdown scored, your bet is a push. So DraftKings should say in print, must have a touchdown for action. Customer gets the shaft again. Judd O'Connor, the booze raining down at U.S. Bank Stadium after multiple misses by JJ was comical. You want to feel bad for a young guy, but when you aura farm like McCarthy has, he has to be able to take the heat with the praise. Aura farm. Love that.
So that's a new one for a numbers game.
Here it is. Aura farming, ladies and gentlemen, a slang term for the act of deliberately cultivating a cool or impressive image, often through curated online and offline actions. That's what J.J. McCarthy does, per Judd O'Connor. I love that. Michael Sachs. I had the shortest field goal bet in the Giants game. Also at Bet Rivers, at the bottom of the field goal menu, it said no field goal attempted, no bet. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah. See, something simple like that, right?
Yep. Ace Dick Cardano. Something tells me the book How to Maintain Cover and Play Nice with Local Casinos by Kelley Bydlon won't be printed anytime soon. Loveland is lovely this time of year. And Jason H11, happy Monday, guys. Quick question. Who's banned for more Vegas casinos, Gilly or Blacklist Bydlon? Forget casinos. I may not be welcome in Nevada if I keep talking about prediction markets.
I'm not banning any casino.
They're going to what do they call it?
Geofence
me out of Nevada pretty soon. Not even joking. All right, what's next?
Next up, early window, Patriots at the Bengals.
Patriots at the Bengals. All right, so the Patriots we already talked about. They played Thursday night. They beat the Jets by 13. That was what the closing line was. If you had to, if you got on the Patriots early on guessing lines last week, it was a winner for you. They're 9-2. The Patriots are 9-2. The Bengals fall to 3-7 with that loss we just talked about against the Steelers. Drake May on Thursday was 25 of 34 for 281. Still hasn't had himself a 300-yard game yet. 281. Thought he was going to get there. Travion had 3 touchdowns. They held the Jets 245 total yards. And then the Bengals in defeat yesterday. Flacco, 23 of 40 for 199. Bengals were -2 in turnovers. I'll say the Patriots minus... I'm going to go full 7. No, I'll say 6 on the road.
That was a good mental exercise by you right there. 5.5, 6 is where it opened, and we have flown to 7 across the board.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was one of those... it's like, obviously, you wait for this before you talk about anything with lines, right? That opener came out, I'm like, 5.5. I'm like, I know which direction this is going to go. But I'm like, I don't really feel that comfortable even of laying 5.5 with the Patriots.
No, I don't either.
So I didn't bet it, but now I'm a little mad now to seeing it 7 everywhere.
But I mean, let's just talk about the Patriots for a second. We are, again, hope you were following the number 1 seed stuff, because the Patriots' schedule is just crazy easy the rest of the way, too. Good on them. They banked the wins. We are staring at an AFC playoff picture, right? At this point, so much football left to be played. Although, every week we talk about this less and less, right? Fewer and fewer games on this runway. But right now, you're looking at an AFC playoff picture where Drake May, Bo Nix, and Daniel Jones are vying for the number 1 seed.
Yeah, they are.
And the Josh Allens of the world and the worst of the division seeds, let's say it's Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, right? The 2 guys that have been the perennial MVP candidates will be on the road at least past the first round in the case of the Ravens, if they are to win the AFC North. Just as it's, I know Pittsburgh has a 1-game lead over Baltimore, but I still think Baltimore ends up as that team. It's just a fascinating, the way that the AFC is shaping up for the playoffs. I'm almost rooting for this, that we're going to get these guys that no one thought were that great before this season against the Hall of Fame guys who are going to be on the road.
Yeah, right. That's the big one, right? Patrick Mahomes, you got a shot still.
Patrick
Go play
Mahomes.
3 on the road. You got to win 3 on the road to get to the Super Bowl.
Which makes betting them kind of interesting because it really comes down to, what's your handicap? Do you think a road game in Indianapolis for any of those teams we mentioned, Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City, if Kansas City can get there, we'll talk about that coming up. Do you think a road game for any of those teams in Indianapolis, at Denver in the elevation, or at New England, who would be favored in those games, first of all, before you could even get your handicap? Who'd be favored? Makes the AFC really interesting this year.
Well, I think that's just going to be fun. You're going to have a lot of tight lines, right? I mean, that's
going to be super interesting.
I mean, right now, it looks like it could be Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. You are on the road. You got to win 3 games before you can punch your ticket to the Super Bowl.
And we'll talk about the Chiefs when we get to the Chiefs. Next.
All right, next up, we have the Giants at the Lions.
Giants at the Lions today. This did one thing good before the season started. This Giants under 5.5. Yeah, keep losing. Jameis played pretty well, but, no. Giants, first drive, 9 plays, 65 yards, Singletary in from 5, 7-0 Giants over the Packers. 10:35 left in the first quarter, and Kelley, Bydlon, and all the Jameis people are loving it. Couple drives later for Green Bay. Jordan Love gets hurt on the drive, has to leave. He was questionable to return with a shoulder injury. And then Willis comes in, Malik Willis. He converts a 3rd and 8 at the Giants 32 for a 16-yard run. 5 plays later, Willis to Watson from 1 out. Watson, great snag. 7-6. Haversick way right on an extra point. Early stages of the second quarter. Then Jacobs goes into the tunnel. Josh Jacobs goes into the tunnel. He's questionable return with a knee injury. He never does return. Mm-hmm. Although, looks like they might have avoided the worst with Josh Jacobs. He just never came back in that game yesterday. Green Bay now down 7-6, 10 plays, 84 yards. Love back in to Golden for 24, to Dobbs for 22 on the drive. Emmanuel Wilson in from 11, 13-7 Packers halfway through the second quarter. And then the Giants respond. 68 yards, Singletary in from 2, but a chop block on the extra point try. So Young-Hae Koo has to try it from longer, and he misses his way left. 13 apiece at the half. So both teams missed an extra point. 13 all. Third quarter starts, Green Bay 66 yards. Love to Josh Wiley from 2 out, 19-13. Haversick extra point, way left from the wind. It was ridiculous. Then the Giants, after 2 fourth-down conversions on the drive, they get 4th and 3 at the Green Bay 10. Jameis sacked by Isaiah McDuffie. Next time the Giants get the ball, though, they cash it in. 15 plays, 85 yards, 4th and 2 at the Green Bay 22. Jameis to Isaiah Hodgins for 13. 3 plays later, Jameis in from 1, 20-19 Giants. 7:22 left in the fourth quarter. But Green Bay from their own 35, 3rd and 10 at their own 48. Love to Savion Williams for 32. 2 plays later, Love to Watson from 17 out. Great pass and catch. 25-20. 2-point try, Love to Emmanuel Wilson, 27-20 with 4:02 left. And the Giants from their own 35, Kelley, they get to 3rd and 6 at the Green Bay 14 with 40 seconds left. 14 yards away from tying it. Jameis picked by Evan Williams in the end zone. For all intents and purposes, that was the ball game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Hey, no, well, we knew the picks were coming. You just hope the touchdowns get mixed in, too.
It was 19 for 29. Jameis was for 201. No touchdowns, 1 pick.
You know what? It was, considering the wind, the quality of defense, it was still pretty good.
Giants fall to 2-9.
The one you can't do is you take that sack, though, at the end. Jameis, you're Jameis. Throw it up, man. Just throw it up.
In case you missed the game last night, Detroit and Philadelphia. What a defensive struggle. Detroit, first time with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Goff, deflected by Jordan Davis, picked by Cooper DeJean. Philadelphia set up at the Detroit 11. They have to settle for an Elliott 27-yard field goal, 3-0. Later, Detroit, 4 and out, 3rd and 1, and 4th and 1 at their own 48. Gibbs stuffed on both plays. Next drive, Detroit, 3 and out, 4th and 2 at their own 43. They go in punt formation. They decide to fake it. Up back gets the snap. Philly was ready for it. Grant Stewart stuffed for no gain. Philadelphia, then 3rd and 11 at the Detroit 33. Hurts for 12. They have to settle, though, for an Elliott field goal. 6-0 Philly. 6:02 left in the second quarter. And then Detroit, they do cash in. 3 plays, 74 yards. Goff to St. Brown for 36. Then Goff to Jameson for 40. Just like that. Unsportsmanlike for humping the goalpost. So Bates has to kick the extra point from further back. He misses it. So it's 6-6 instead of a Lions lead with 5:05 left. And then Philadelphia to end the half. 10 plays, 64 yards, and 4:46 Hurts in on a Tuchus push. 13-6 Eagles. Halftime. Third quarter. Detroit, 4th and 5 at the Philly 32. They go for it. Goff incomplete, intended for Jameson. Next time Detroit had the ball, for Jameson Williams, that is. Next time Detroit has the ball. 4th and goal to 3. Goff incomplete, intended for St. Brown. Next time Detroit had the ball. 4th and 3 at the Philadelphia 45. Goff incomplete, intended for St. Brown. It's like we're watching Groundhog Day over and over in this game. 16-6 Philly now in the fourth quarter. Philly took a push on third, but a false start before they try to get on 4th and 1 at their own 41. They have to punt. And then next time Philly has the ball, 4 and out, when the tush push, or as we like to say, the tuchus push, falls short on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 at their own 29. So what Detroit did prove is that the tush push can be stopped. They proved that. Detroit was not one of the teams that voted to ban it. So Detroit ends up set up at the Philadelphia 29. I'm thinking to myself, is Dan Campbell going to know to kick the field goal here? He's so into it, going for it on 4th down. He was going to go for it, it felt like. But then Philly called timeout, gave him a chance to rethink it. So Elliott did kick Bates kicked a 54-yard field goal. So it cut it to 16-9. But then it ended on that ridiculous PI we talked about earlier on Rock Yassin. Absolutely terrible call. I'll get my guess on the other side. Giants at the Lions next.
Come to DSW for the shoes, stay for the fun. Because let's be honest, if shoe shopping isn't fun, are you even doing it right? So go ahead, try something new. Try something different. Good different. Try something that feels like you. You know, the real you. And then definitely brag about it later. Because at DSW, you've got unlimited freedom to play. With sneakers, boots, and everything in between for every style, mood, and occasion, you'll definitely find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. DSW, let us surprise you.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Our number 2 of a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course Sirius XM Channel 158. Gill Alexander, Kelley, Bydlon, producer number 9. So much more than a producer. It's happening.
Not much, man.
We got breaking news from Adam Schefter.
Do some couple injuries to update.
Here's Adam Schefter's breaking news. ESPN sources, Falcons quarterback Michael Penix suffered a potentially season-ending knee injury. During Sunday's loss to the Panthers, Penix will be seeking a second opinion, but it is not encouraging, per Adam Schefter.
Yeah, it's not good.
And the Falcons did not look good after he left yesterday.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins appears to be a shell of whatever he was to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, you would think, right? We would have thought a year ago, no matter how we felt about the draft pick, okay, fine, at least you're set up great for a backup situation. It doesn't really feel like that, and then you've got major questions about your first-round quarterback from just a season ago that you drafted with Penix, who I don't want to say you can make a call on yet, Gill, but it sure feels like he needs more playing time, right? Not less, and he's going to be injured and coming back, and who knows depending on the severity of the injury. What's the timeline here, and how long does that get dragged out? Not ideal. Not ideal.
It's incredible, too, because Drake London is a beast, and Bydlon is a beast.
Oh, their skill players are amazing.
Incredible.
A couple others just to update. Going back to that game, here's another one we're waiting on more tests today. Josh Jacobs. That sounds like that's going to be more of the MetLife turf problem. It was a hard slam into that, apparently. So they're going to be doing some tests today. But there was at least a little bit more positive news coming out of that one. And then Mike Kafka updating today that Jackson Dart is still in concussion protocol. So that's where we're at on a Monday. That could change, obviously, in a few days if he clears it.
And as we're talking about the Giants at Detroit here, for those who are like, well, you didn't really get into the Detroit details. We did earlier on the show. That's why we sort of went through Detroit quicker. But with the Giants, again, it's the Jackson Dart. For those who have Rookie of the Year tickets on Jackson Dart, I talked about this at length last week, which is I think my hunch is the way that the Giants play this with a young kid in concussion protocol is that at least to the bye week, my instinct is they keep him out. 2 more games before their bye week. Why rush it? Why do anything to, in any way, jeopardize the kid? That's your future. And so if you have a Rookie of the Year ticket, that becomes a dicey proposition because then at that point, at the most, he can hit the most, even if he were to come back after the bye week, he will have started 11 football games. Is that enough for voters to vote him Rookie of the Year? I don't know that it is. As far as the Lions last night, again, just real quickly in 20 seconds, Dan Campbell going for it on 4th down over and over and over and over. 5 times. They were 0-5. Jared Goff was so out of rhythm last night that's where the bots, right? That's where your analytics. So Dan Campbell is getting advice from his analytics team, and he is following that advice generally. because then he didn't go for it on some fourth downs later in the game. But when this is where the non-analytics people like to jump in, and I think in last night's case they might be right, which is, okay, you can keep going for it, but are you watching what's happening on the field? Again, every time you have a high leverage situation, every time there's a play of consequence, the analogy I used earlier is the Eagles are stuffing your face in the locker, right? It's just incredible how Jared Goff was just out of sorts last night on this, and so. And then the way the game ended with that flag on Yassin was just so bad, so bad. Anyway, that said, Lions hosting the Giants, the 6-4 Lions hosting the 2-9 Giants. It'll be interesting to see where the Lions end up on power rankings. I'll say minus 13.
Yeah, I think I was probably in the similar ballpark as you, Gill. We're at 10.5.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I didn't bet it, but, man, it even opened a lot of places 11.5. It's come down a little bit.
Surprised by that.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Not running to bet it yet, but, man, that hits a 10.
Surprised.
It's 10 at Circa.
Okay. 10 at Circa, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I may bet that after the show. Give me that.
I might too.
Yep.
We'll have to catch up on some of the Detroit Lions injuries, though, because those seemingly are just a thing every single week. All right, next up, we have early window, Vikings at Packers.
All right, Vikings lose to the Bears. We talked about that. J.J. McCarthy, 16 of 32 for 150. Meh. Vikings ended up with 265 total yards. They were -2 in turnovers. Green Bay, in victory over the Giants, Jordan Love, 13 completed forward passes. 13 of 24 for 174, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Malik Willis was in for a minute. Not just a minute, but like a minute, figuratively speaking. He was 2 of 2 for 6 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 carry for the 16 yards we talked about. Packers were +2 in turnovers. I would say Green Bay -7 at home against Minnesota.
6.5.
Okay. Sure. Packers.
Man, some of these lines with the Packers, though, like, you got to be scared to make too high, right?
100%. 100%.
I'm like, this is one I have a feeling I'll answer the same way on Friday that I'm going to answer right now, Gill. It would be Vikings or pass, but it's not really that I'm that high on the Vikings.
Yeah.
All right.
Next.
Early window, Seahawks head east to play the Titans.
Oh, boy. 7-3 Seahawks, 1-9 Titans. Titans we already talked about lose to the Texans. Titans remain with the worst record in the National Football League. This was one of the marquee matchups of yesterday. It was the Seahawks at the Rams. And I think it kind of lived up to the hype.
It was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, Seattle, we start the game, Rams from their own 30, 4th and 1 at the Seattle 8. Stafford incomplete, intended for Higbee. Seattle then third play on the ensuing drive, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Darnold picked by Cameron Kinchins. Rams set up at the Seattle 3 plays later. Corriman from 1, 7-0 Rams. 7-3 now after Myers sunk a 57-yarder. Rams go 74 yards, 4th and 1 at the Seattle 35. Kyron for 34 to the 1. 2 plays later, Stafford to Devontae swing from 1 out. His 1,000th career catch, 14-3 Rams. Then it would be 14-6. Then it would be 14-9. Seattle keeps matriculating, keeps settling for field goals. We go to the second half. Seattle, first drive, 3rd play, 3rd and 9 at their own 36. Darnold picked for the second time by Kobe Durant this time. Rams second play, 2nd and 10 at the Seattle 35. Stafford to Nakua. He's hit by Kobe Bryant. Fumbles, recovered by Drake Thomas. So all in the first minute and 4 seconds of the second half, we have 2 turnovers. Now Seattle, again, down 14-9 here. From their own 34, Myers, another field goal. They matriculate, have to settle for a field goal. 14-12 Rams, 8:02 left third quarter. 2 more possessions later for Seattle. 1st and 20 at their own 27. Darnold picked for the 3rd time, this time by Kinchins again. Over the middle, Rams set up at the Seattle 25, 4 plays. Stafford to Colby Parkinson from 6 out, 21-12 Rams, 14-15 left. Darnold with 3 turnovers, and already now at this point, everybody's saying the same thing, which is, remember last year, Sam Darnold had this fantastic season with the Vikings, and then when it came to prime time, to crunch time at the end of the year, he became the Sam Darnold of old. Here he is now. At this point, he's got 3 picks. Really the only reason why the Rams are up 21-12. Next time Seattle has the ball, 3rd and 3 at the Rams 36. Darnold picked by Darius Williams, his 4th pick. Rams from the Seattle 49, though, 3 and out. Then did you have a problem down 9 that Seattle punted with 8:11 left? They were at their own 20, though.
No.
Yeah, I think the field position mattered there. Seattle, next time they get the ball.
Both defenses were so good, right? Like, you can lean on your defense.
I'm going to ask you a question after this about who do you feel better about after this game? Seattle, 11 plays, 84 yards. Walker for 23 to start. Kenneth Walker, the third in from 1 to end at 21-19. Rams with 2:23 left. And then the Rams are forced to punt. And then this might be the play of the game.
It was.
Ethan Evans. Remember, the Rams are only up 2 here. 2. With less than 2 minutes left. Ethan Evans punts it and pins Seattle at less than the half-yard line.
Best punt of all time of the year of the week, Gill.
I mean, you couldn't get closer to the goal line without being at the goal line.
It's incredible.
So Seattle with 1:41 left and down 2 with only 1 timeout.
It felt over. I don't know if you, to me, I've never felt like that before. A punt occurred, and I was like, this game's over.
Because if that's a touchback, that goes like 3 inches more. Seattle probably gets to Myers' range and wins.
And as much as we've talked about this year with how long these guys can kick it, like, you get it inside the 1 with how good that defense is playing, I was like, this game's over.
Instead, Seattle gets it to their own 38 with 17 seconds left. Incomplete, 10 seconds left, and a PI to the Rams 49 with 5 seconds left. They go to Shaheed for 4, where they shouldn't have given him a timeout, quite frankly, with 1 second left, because I thought Darnold held onto the ball way too long on that.
Agreed.
But they gave it to him. Myers, 61-yard field goal, wide right, never had a chance. Rams hold on, 21-19. Darnold, no touchdown passes, 4 picks.
Plummets down the MVP board.
29 of 44 for 279. JSN was still great, 9 for 105. Seattle outgained the Rams 414 to 249, but they were -3 in turnovers. They also out time of possession the Rams 37 minutes and 49 seconds and 22-11. Anyway, real quick, the guess here, Seattle at Tennessee. I said Seattle -13.
You are spot on.
Okay.
13, 12.5 to 13.5 out there.
Some of these are super easy to make. But here's my question.
I played under in this game, by the way.
Under?
Yeah, under 42.5 yesterday on Open.
Here's the real question. Do you feel the Rams get the win, Seattle gets the loss? Rams now atop the NFC West. Do you feel better about the Rams after that game? Or do you feel, or the Seahawks?
It's a great question. I think it's a relatively easy answer for me, though. It's Rams, because I think the things that you'd have concerns about with the Seahawks in the big time moments fell flat, and that's the quarterback play. It's not feeling like there's enough weapons around Darnold. Right? That's where that fell off. And at the end of the day, no matter what needed to be done, Stafford still comes through with the weapons that he has.
I would actually answer I feel great about both. And the way I would look at it is Sam Darnold threw 4 picks, and people are going to seize on that. Mm-hmm. You still almost won the game.
His team was awesome.
Still almost won the game. Coming back, Numbers Game, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The sharp plays in full effect, unmatched transparency with records updated daily, AI betting analysis, real-time global betting information, and alerts directly from the pros. We invite you to check them out. Sharpplays.com. Even a QR code there for you to scan. Get on there real quick.
I got one last thing to say about that game yesterday. Seahawks-Rams.
Yeah.
It was great. So I go into the game. I had the Seahawks in a teaser, so that got home. That was nice. But like as far as outcomes, right? So I got a nice Seahawks NFC ticket. I bet a couple weeks ago. We talked about it on the show. But then I've got this Stafford MVP ticket, right? And you're like, all right, like one outcome's going to be good for me, right?
You threaded the needle.
Well, like sort of, right? Like the outcome, you're like, I don't know that this was good for either ticket. It's not like Stafford lit up the world. I mean, he gets the W, which is big because you're on the track for the 1 seed.
But the W gets lost in the wash when they vote on it. They just look at the record, right? They're not going to. Yes. So that's good.
No, it's good.
We get tweets.
Could have been better, though.
Yeah, it could have been. We get tweets at beating the book. Old Tom Morris. At least you got rid of Darnold, though. Tom Morris.
He plummeted. What was he, 10-1 last week? Yeah, I even said there could be a bet there. Gill rightfully said, hell no. He drops to 50-1.
Yeah. Old Tom Morris. Mr. Gill, always a pleasure taking in guessing lines from across the pond. I attribute your show to be newfound interest in American football. Many thanks. Thank you, old Tom Morris. Thank you for all those golf records you set as well.
Yeah, for real.
Michael Salvino, love the Randy Watson reference. I actually give credit to Scott Van Pelt. I'm not the only one who does that when Christian Watson does anything. I think he was the first person to cite Randy Watson from Coming to America. Fairway Fred, tell me I'm wrong. From a wagering standpoint, team sides and totals affected more than indie prop bets by increasingly incompetent officiating. Great comment earlier, as I'm close to betting tennis, golf, and props only. I think you're right, Fairway Fred. I think they do affect that more. Mark Descard. This is a good tweet. My problem with all the going for it, especially last night with Dan Campbell, is that the game flow is rarely, if ever, discussed. It's a lot different going for it in a 27-24 game than a 3-0 game. Mark, that's why I said earlier, it's one thing to listen to your analytics people, and I'm an analytics guy, one of those idiots who believes in analytics. But again, I'm a baseball analytics guy, right? I just don't feel like analytics in football is quite as mechanical. And when it's tried, when it's applied mechanically, there's too many moving parts, right? The game is different. And if Jared Goff is clearly not on his game, is clearly out of sorts because of what the Philly defense is doing, or the conditions, by the way, they acted like it was like, the worst tsunami in the world last night with the worst wind ever. It was a little much. But yeah, I'm with you. Like at some point, you have to determine what's happening in the game in front of you and act accordingly. So, yeah, I would go with that. I agree with that instinct completely. Judd O'Connor, Stone Cold Sammy Darnold, 74 of 114 for 764 yards, 3 touchdowns, 5 picks, last 3 games versus the Rams. I would lean that Clint Kubiak is more to look at against top 15 defenses, average QBR 53.76. Have to hope Clint looks in the mirror as much as he's looking at Sam. Scheme needs to evolve. Interesting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one thing that I think gets quickly lost on it with Seattle's success this year, though, let's keep in mind major changes from a season ago, right? Where they were at quarterback, wide receiver, the offensive line was a mess. Some of that better, a lot of it just different, and it's a very different operation going on this year.
Yeah. That's a couple things that just leap to mind now because a full day of watching football. By the way, here's one more tweet. Aaron Bender. Going to the zoo with the wife to see the Lion Cubs, listening to a numbers game with the earbud. Wife says, is Gill going to the zoo with us? We're here at the zoo.
The Lion Cubs, send pictures. This sounds adorable.
I want to go see the monkeys. Tell your wife I want to go see the monkey cage. No, so a couple things yesterday. So Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma, who were just coming off their Donald Trump in the booth situation the week before, they're doing the Madrid game. I don't think they did.
What an easy week.
Seriously. I don't think they did nearly a good enough job of contextualizing the moment with the Dolphins' 4th and goal at the 1. It's like for 30 seconds, there was like plenty of time to talk about it, and they didn't really seize on the moment at all. Nor did they really give McDaniel enough guff for the timeouts he called when Miami was on defense. So that was the first thing that yesterday I was like, what's going on with these announcers? Back to the analytics thing for a second, because the Mark Descard's tweet reminds me of this also. With NFL analytics, I got into this a little bit a few weeks ago, but I just want to, again, my sense as a guy who loves analytics, I don't necessarily love them in the NFL. And I used to talk about this with when they used to cite NFL win probabilities, probabilities in football games. In baseball, it's mechanical, right? Runners on second and third, you're down 2 runs, there's 2 outs. It's very precise. Sure, there's this pitcher does this, and this batting average, or the batter has these stats. So there is situational stuff, but the context is very static. In the NFL, there's too many moving parts. And so I always question win probability. Like, how do you know that's the win probability? Do you really buy in to the win probability? Because it's you don't know the nature of the teams in any sort of way that are being played. Joe Pita and I had this discussion a few weeks ago, which I think is also one of the big things that's a miss on broadcasts. Getting back to like the announcers sometimes fail you, and I just think the graphics department and just the networks fail you on this kind of thing. When you have these 4th down bots, okay, or when they say, like Joe Buck and Troy Aikman tonight in the Cowboys-Raiders game will say, analytics say to go for it here, right? Or they just say something blanket like that. Okay, that's very simplistic also. What you need to really know is the punt is the correct choice here if they get pinned, let's say, between the 0 and 5 yard line. If they get pinned between the 5 and 10 yard line, it's a 50-50 proposition. If they don't get pinned within the 10 yard line, the punt ends up being the bad choice. You need to know that information. You need extra layers of context for the NFL and its associated networks to really understand football analytics. Yeah. And I just think we fall so short as a football viewing and betting public and the networks and the league itself understanding all of this as it applies to football. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I just think we're so shortchanged.
Well, I think the punt's the perfect example. I think you really used the perfect one.
Right, because it's like, how do I know this is the right?
Because in field goal, when you're seeing the field goal one, that is taking into account the possibility of a miss. It is taking, but on a punt, where does the ball land is massive.
The Ethan Evans punt on the Rams yesterday is the perfect example of that, right? Although they kind of had to punt either way. But it's like, let's say it was a little...
but how much does that swing the win probability in a game?
Let's say it was a little close and it was a decision. Well, if you knew that Ethan Evans was going to pin you at the 1-inch line, your win probability swings massively, whether that's a touchback or not. And we never get that context on, Joe Buck just comes on and goes, analytics say to go for it. Analytics say to punt. Really? That's such short, what's the word I'm looking for? Not enough. It's meager information in that. Anyway, sorry.
I hear you. Man. I think
it's go off on that. Sorry, my bad.
I think it's a good conversation.
Can we fit one in here? Let's fit one in.
Yeah, we can.
Okay,
it's a good one. The mighty Colts at the middling Chiefs.
The 8-2 Colts coming off a bye. The 5-5 Chiefs. The 5-5 Chiefs, who are right now in 9th place in the AFC. 7, of course, make the playoffs. 3-0 Denver. Next time they got the ball, Denver, after a Mims Jr. 70-yard punt return, they're set up at the Kansas City 11. They have to settle for another Lutz field goal, 6-0. Then it will get to 6-3, then to 6-6 at halftime. Third quarter, Kansas City 3rd and 14 at the Denver 21. Mahomes picked by Jaquan McMillan. Wait a minute. Patrick Mahomes is not supposed to do that. Denver from their own 11. 11 plays, 89 yards, the big chunk. A 3rd and 8 from their own 25. Knicks to Troy Franklin for 35. 6 plays later, Jaleel McLaughlin from 4 out. 13-6 Broncos, 4:03 left. Third quarter, Kansas City response. 6 plays, 75 yards. Mahomes and Tyquan for 61. Tyquan Thornton on 3rd and 7 at their own 28. The huge play. 3 plays later, Hunt in from 1. 13 apiece with 49 seconds left in the third. Then Denver immediately nicks to Pat Bryant for 48 to start. That leads to a Lutz field goal. Denver goes back up 16-13. Kansas City then takes the lead, 73 yards, 46 on a PI on Moss. Moss is always getting flagged, by the way. 3 plays later, Mahomes to Kelley from 21 out. Great play by Travis on 3rd and 6. Extra point blocked. So instead of 20-16, it remains 19-16, Kansas City with 9:57 left. 2 times later, Denver, 2 possessions later, I should say. After a Mims 24-yard punt return, Marvin Mims Jr. always doing great things for the Broncos. From their own 45, Lutz 54-yard field goal. Good. We are tied with 4:10 left. And then a Kansas City 3 and out and a 66-yard punt by Matt Araiza. So Denver, pinned deep in their own territory. Not deep, but 3rd and 15 at their own 21. Knicks to Sutton for 20. Right inside the 2-minute warning. 5 plays later. 2nd and 8 at the Kansas City 47. Knicks to Franklin for 32. Great catch. Sets up a Lutz game-winning field goal. Good. 35-yarders, 22-19. The Broncos beat the Chiefs, and the Broncos with a 3.5 game lead over the Chiefs in the AFC West with the Chargers in between. That said, Chiefs minus 2.5. He says
open
cautiously.
Chiefs 3.5 forward is down to 3.5 with some 3s out there.
They are over a field goal
Yes.
favorite. Wow. Interesting. Coming back.
DSW, birthplace of the humble brag. Here, the shoes are so good, no one would ever know how little you paid. If you didn't go telling everyone, that is. And with never-ending options for every style, mood, and occasion, all at really great prices, we'll definitely give you something to brag about. So go ahead, stock up on fresh sneakers from your favorite brands. Or try those boots you always secretly knew you could pull off. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Discover a smarter way to bet with ProfitX, the peer-to-peer prediction market. You'll find thousands of markets, from spreads and totals to player props, yes, no touchdown scores and futures, all with transparent exchange-style pricing and no hidden markup. Available in 40-plus states, ProfitX now features improved live betting. Use code VSiN and earn up to $200 in profit cash during your first month. Terms apply. 21 and over, please. Not please, it has to be 21 and over. ProfitX, check it out. Available in 40-plus states. We get tweets at Beating the Book, World Be Free. He just wanted to point out, the wind was real bad yesterday in the tri-state area. They missed 3 PATs at the Meadowlands. Yeah, I mentioned that. I mentioned that as well.
Yeah, it affected several games, for sure.
Here's another breaking injury update.
Yep.
Ian Rappaport's Falcons now, we already talked about Michael Penix, perhaps with a season-ending knee injury. Drake London suffering a PCL sprain out this week and potentially more, with Michael Penix Jr. out this week with an aggravation of his bone bruise and London out with a sprain. Atlanta is significantly short-handed. Of all the things I've been wrong about this year, Kelley, and we can name a bunch, maybe the Falcons is the worst call of all. Just a lost season. Just absolutely. And again, I think their defense is better than most people give it credit for, too. But, like, doesn't show up on the field. Mm-hmm. So clearly I'm wrong.
Yeah, not great, but the injuries are killing them. Injuries are killing them.
Yeah, absolutely. But, that applies to a lot of teams as well. Back to the Chiefs for a second. Chiefs are 5-5. 9th place right now in the AFC. Miss playoffs. Right now to miss the playoffs. Chiefs, no. In other words, to make the playoffs, no. Plus 150. Here's the thing. Here's the Chiefs' remaining schedule. They host the Colts this week. We just found out, or I just found out, it's a 3.5-point spread. Chiefs favored by 3.5. Then after that, it's at the Cowboys Thanksgiving, short week. Host the Texans, host the Chargers, at the Titans, host the Broncos on Christmas, revenge spot, then at the Raiders. There's a lot of wins on that schedule. If you think the Chiefs are going to beat the Colts this week, is it really that unrealistic for them to, I don't know, finish out that schedule with 1 loss max? And if that's the case, you're talking about, while they're 5-5 now, if you think they beat the Colts this week, maybe you're talking about an 11-6 football team in the end. And 11-6 will get you in the playoffs. Or maybe you think, yeah, you know what? I've seen this act before. They got the best of it last year in all the one-score games. Maybe this is finally the regression, right? All things even out here with them. Maybe this is the year where they miss it. They're just not that good of a football team. However you come down on this, right, should really perhaps trigger a bet. Because I think if you think they're going to beat the Colts, I actually think betting Chiefs futures now might be the move right before they play them.
Yeah.
The problem is that they're 3.5. I thought it would be 2.5. Am I racing to bet the Colts plus the 3.5? I don't know about racing. I would lean Colts. But, I mean, this league from week to week, it's a week-to-week league. I have no idea what's going to happen at this point from week to week.
It's wild.
With some of these teams.
It's wild. And I know what you're kind of getting at, because we sat here and had the same conversation last week when it came to the division with the Broncos, and it was like I said something similar. It was like, if you like the Chiefs this week, I think you're taking a piece of them to win the AFC West. I thought about it long and hard last week, never ended up doing it. And okay, you lose that game. And yeah, yes, minus 185 for the Chiefs to make the playoffs is extremely tempting.
Yes, to make it.
To make it.
Yeah.
But man, I'm not that confident they're winning this week. So I don't know that I'm going to end up on that bet. It feels like a crazy world that we live in, that we're talking about the Chiefs potentially missing out. But man, I'd almost rather. I think personally, I think you said it well. This game is too up in the air for me this week. I'm probably going to wait. If they somehow lose, I might be more interested in that price next week. Because I think you're right. After this week, they could rattle off a bunch of wins.
Next.
Early window. Jets at Ravens.
Jets lose to the Patriots on Thursday night. Justin Fields was 15 of 26 for 116. Jets were held to 245 total yards. Baltimore yesterday beats the Cleveland Browns, and it was not easy. 3-3 game, end of the first quarter. Cleveland then punts, but LeJonte Webster muffs it. A lot of muff punts yesterday. Delpit recovers. Cleveland set up at the Baltimore 6. They settle for an Andre Schmidt 24-yard field goal, 6-3 Cleveland. And then Baltimore ensuing drive, 2nd and 19 at their own 20. Lamar pass deflected, picked by Devin Bush, 23 yards to the house, 13-3 Cleveland. Baltimore would respond. 6 plays, 73 yards. Lamar to Zay Flowers for 45, the big one. 3 plays later, Henry in from 1, 13-10 Brownies. And then Cleveland, though, 4th and 4 at their own 36, a neutral zone infraction by the Ravens. Then Gabriel to Tillman for 26. That helps lead to a Schmidt 46-yard field goal, 16-10 Browns at the half. Then the Shedeur Sanders experience begins. Gabriel out. Cleveland. By the way, Myles Garrett had 4 sacks by this point. Shedeur comes in, 3 and out. Next time Cleveland gets the ball, remember they're up 6. 3rd and 10 at their own 17. Shedeur picked by Nate Wiggins. Baltimore set up at the Cleveland 16. First play, Lamar picked by Carson Schwesinger. Back-to-back picks. Cleveland still up 6. Next time Baltimore has the ball, Henry, 59-yard scamper to the 9, but they have to settle for a Tyler Loop 24-yard field goal. 16-13 Cleveland. First minute of the fourth quarter. Next time Baltimore has the ball from their own 20. 3rd and 6 at the Cleveland 26. Ward not called for a PI on Tylan Wallace in the end zone. Unbelievable non-call. We see that call in the Detroit game. This one wasn't called. Loop, 44-yard field goal. We are tied at 16 apiece. And then the next time after another Cleveland 3 and out, because Shedeur couldn't really do anything with his offense at this point. Baltimore from the Cleveland 44. 4th and 1 at the Cleveland 35. This might have been the play of the day in the NFL yesterday. They line up in their Mark Andrews version of the tush push, which is how Baltimore often does it. And instead of going tuchus push, Mark Andrews does a spinorama. 35 yards to pay dirt. What a play. Baltimore 23-16 with 2:31 left. And then you're down 7 with Shedeur in his first game ever. From his own 35. Sanders to Fannin Jr. for 25 with 2 minutes left. Wait a minute. What's this? Then 3rd and 10 of the Baltimore 40 with 1:51 left. Shedeur to Judy for 10. Great effort by Jerry Jeudy on that play.
Yeah.
Then Shedeur has 2 shots into the end zone, 1 overthrow on a scramble, and then 1 great defensive play. So it ends up 4th and 5 at the Baltimore 25 with 1:02 left. Incomplete ball game. The Ravens win again. 4 in a row now for the Ravens, is that? 4 in a row?
Yep.
4 in a row. They're 5-5. They're from 1-5 to 5-5. You can kind of see this happening. Lamar, 14 of 25 for 193. Henry, 18 for 103. They held Cleveland to 187 total yards. Underdog NFL. Shedeur Sanders' regular season debut. 4 completed forward passes. 2 big ones on that final drive. 4 of 16 for 47 yards. No touchdowns, 1 pick. A 13.5 passer rating. 2 sacks taken. So there's that.
There's so many conversations to have here.
There are.
I don't know where you want to start. You want to do Shedeur first?
Well, here's a Shedeur conversation. Can you imagine if he had led them back to a game-tying touchdown and then they won the game?
Glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, he did not look good.
He did not.
I am not trying to defend that.
He did not.
But man, some of the reaction I'm hearing last night and this morning. I mean, haven't we made a big deal about this kid not getting any reps with the 1? He has to come in the middle of the game. I feel like we give a lot of other quarterbacks a lot of other excuses when that happens, but not this guy. And he had a chance. He still had a chance.
Yep.
I got it. I get it, man. It looked bad. It looked really bad. But, man, everybody burying him after a half of football. I don't know. I don't know about that. And then the Ravens, it's 4 in a row. It's 4 in a row where I'm still left and not very impressed by what I've seen out of the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm not running to think they're going to win a Super Bowl.
Well, what did you say? You think they could win?
No, it's 4 wins in a row. You can't take that away from them. They're banking the wins just like they banked the losses. I still don't think this team is looking mind-blowingly impressive.
No, they're not. But back to the whole conversation we've had about the AFC playoff picture. We'll get to the NFC playoff picture. But the AFC playoff picture, again, is shaping up. Much football still to be played, but not that much football, right? Where the Bo Nix, Daniel Jones, Drake May quarterback tier, right? Those are the 3 best records. And it's the Josh Allens and Lamar Jacksons and the Patrick Mahomeses of the world that could be on the road, the Hall of Famers, right? Wouldn't this be fascinating? Will and I were texting about this earlier. Wouldn't it be fascinating if all those years where Baltimore had these great teams and Lamar was having MVP seasons and MVP seasons where he wasn't given the MVP kind of season last year, all those teams that failed in the postseason, wouldn't it be ironic? Don't you think?
Hey!
He finally got one.
If
this is the year that this sorry version of this team, and they are sorry, it feels like, right? They are just not that great. Sorry, Danny Higgins. Wouldn't it be fascinating if this was the team that ended up getting to the Super Bowl?
It sure would be. You know what it's shaping up to be right now? Because it's probably still their division or nothing, right?
Yeah.
So you're talking wild card round, Bills at Ravens.
Oh, man. I love it. Can we get there already? Coming back. Looking for value. Not much value. Some. Numbers game. Right here at VSiN.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Oh, my God. We have TVs on in the studio.
Told you, man. It's everywhere. It's all people are talking about this morning.
Shador. Are you serious?
Is his career over?
ESPN really is doing a segment. Who is most at fault for Shador's performance?
It was really bad. It was a half. It was one half of football.
Who's most at fault? We're already pointing fingers. Can't be his. Can't be his fault.
That's the most I can defend the guy, Gill.
Oh, my God.
He goes on the road next week against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Do we know if it's him?
No, we don't know. But if it is him, and it's the Raiders, okay, Shador, then you're under the microscope.
Man. Next. Actually, let me read for you these tweets.
All right.
I'm sorry. Real quick. Johnny Ringo. Everyone has their scary game in the course of Survivor. That Baltimore game was my introduction to adult diapers. Yep. That wasn't even that bad, Johnny Ringo. Believe me. Mike P. With the performance Sunday, is the Chiefs to miss the playoffs at plus 150 on DraftKings? A good bet. We just talked about that. So far, 5-5 and have 3, maybe 4 winnable games left. I don't know if it's a good bet or not. I think your conviction should guide you, right? So if you think they beat the Colts this week, I think there are bets to be made on the Chiefs beyond that market.
Yes.
If you think they're going to lose this one, man, you really are, even with that schedule, plus 150. And by the way, you might be able to find better than plus 150. If you can find a little better than plus 150.
Well, I bet you can, yeah.
That ain't that bad of a number. If they lose this game, right, if you can get ahead of that, 5-6, man, they got to run the table at that point. Because I'm not sure 10-7 gets you in this year in the AFC.
I get it, but you're talking about them fighting between the Steelers/Ravens, right? The other one will be, one of them will win the division, one of them will be in this same type of conversation. And then we're talking about like the Jags, Texans, Dolphins. I don't know. I still have confidence the Chiefs could have.
No. And here's the thing. Again, I hate to belabor the point because all we talk about the AFC playoff picture. If the Chiefs got to the Super Bowl, would you be astonished?
No, not at all.
Rhodes knows. Are we seeing more big comebacks this year? Is it bad coaching? The refs with some help? Starting week 1 with the Baltimore Bills game, multi-weeks with the Broncos, Jaguars last week, now Panthers this week. Is there one thing you guys are seeing? It's so true, though. I mean, the dynamic kickoff thing is the first answer to that question.
It's huge.
You're seeing a lot more big kickoff returns, and these field goal kickers with these new K1 balls, right, the way that they're being treated this year, can kick longer field goals. So the amount you have to matriculate to get field goals is just ridiculously shorter now. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. But there's a lot of things I believe that are inexplicable. Why are all these kicks being blocked? Why? What's changed there?
That's brought that up. We brought that one up early in the year, right? And I'm with you. We still don't really have an answer to that.
I mean, and the reffing. I mean, if you believe like the Todd Wishnevs of the world, he believes that the officiating is done to keep viewership alive. He truly believes that. Chance Copperpot, Randy Watson, Alanis Morissette, and what's this? Fezzik drops. Gilly's firing on all cylinders this morning. Yeah, I've had better days with the records.
I feel like I'm not getting enough compliments for that. We got an Alanis Morissette one together. Okay,
it's low hanging.
It was together.
Low hanging.
I don't care, Gill. I need more of those. I need more alley-oops.
More layups. Next.
We never got a guess, did we? We never got a guess on Jets versus
Thank
Ravens.
you for that. Baltimore minus 10.5.
Don't thank me. Thanks, Danny Higgins. Thank Danny Higgins.
Thank you, Danny Higgins.
I forgot. Let's see. 10.5. No. Try 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
But again, do I want to bet the Jets?
Nope. And I'm right there with you, pal.
That seems way high to me.
Let me scan the board here. I thought I saw a 14.5 out there.
What exactly have the Ravens done? Well, I guess, like Myles Garrett. Do we have a Myles Garrett stat, by the way?
Boyd has a 14.5 up.
The Jets do not employ Myles Garrett, so that's...
If you want to get around that key number of 14.
Myles Garrett has 15 sacks this season.
Look at this list. Pulled this one from Field Yates.
Myles Garrett has 15 sacks this year. The Ravens as a team have 15. The Jags have 15 as a team. The Bengals have 14 as a team. The Niners have 12 as a team. Myles Garrett with 4 yesterday.
The Cleveland Browns have 2 wins. They have 2 players that are odds-on favorites for awards right now.
Myles Garrett
for Defensive Player of the Year at minus 150, which I don't like. I feel like I might need to bet, Gill. And then Carson Schwarzenegger, who was everywhere yesterday, minus 200 now for your Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Made a pick.
Abdul Carter, there's an extra 0 off on that number that we were making fun of forever. Was plus 150 for I don't know how long. 15 to 1 now.
15 to 1 on Abdul Carter. Yeah, Schwarzenegger had the pick right after Shedeur threw his pick. Next play. Cleveland at, what did you say?
This leads perfectly right in. Browns at Raiders.
Browns at Raiders, the 2-8 Browns, the 2-7 Raiders. Raiders have not played yet. They played tonight here hosting the Cowboys. You are on the Cowboys tonight.
On the Cowboys.
I think the Will Hill comment about this will be a Brock Bowers game if there's ever been a game for a player.
Oh, yeah, he might have 200 yards tonight.
He will be targeted left and right after not being targeted at all. Not at all, but seldomly last week. What? We have the best tight end in football? We probably should use him. Dylan Gabriel was 7 of 10 for 68 yesterday. Shedeur was 4 of 16 for 47. And ESPN wants to know who's to blame. Come on, man. The Browns were held to 187 total yards. They were +2 in turnovers. I don't know. Raiders by 3. What else can this be?
Yeah, Raiders by 3.
Okay. Next.
All right, let's head to, that was your 4:05 Eastern start. We have 4 late window games this week. Also at 4:05, the Jaguars at the Cardinals.
Jaguars crush the Chargers. The biggest no-show of yesterday was the Chargers. What was that?
Yeah, I was dead wrong on that one.
And it started out the very first play of the game. Justin Herbert was flagged for intentional grounding. And it was a 3-and-out. 3-0 Chargers. Jacksonville, 74 yards, big chunk on a PI. Bashal Tootin in from 4, 7-3. It would get to Jacksonville with the ball again. First play, Trevor picked by Dante Jackson. Chargers set up at the Jacksonville 33. They had to settle for a Dicker 46-yard field goal. 7-6 Jacksonville. 8:15 left in the second quarter. And from that time on, it was all Jaguars. From their own 40, 4th and 1 at the Chargers 36. Tootin for 4. Then 4 plays later, Etienne from 2. Out 14-6 Jaguars at the half. Oh, no, pardon me. Yes, at the half, 14-6. Then first drive of the second half, 65 yards. Trevor in from 1 out, 21-6 Jaguars. After a Chargers 3-and-out. Next time Jacksonville had the ball, 16 plays, 76 yards. Trevor to Tim Patrick from 1 out, 28-6 with 11:38 left. And then the Chargers' first play of the ensuing drive, 1st and 10, their own 35. Herbert picked by Antonio Johnson, who returns at 44 yards. Jacksonville set up at the Chargers 13. Second play, Etienne in from 13. 35-6 Jaguars. That would be the final. What a no-show by the Chargers. And Herbert was banged up during the game. But the Jaguars outgained the Chargers 345 to 135. 135 total yards for the Chargers. The Jaguars out first downed them, if you will, 30-8. And then there's Arizona, who loses to the Niners. One of the few things I got right yesterday was on the Niners.
Yeah, that was nice.
Opening kickoff, Sky Moore, 99 yards, but not to the house. He gets the 1. CMC in from 1, 7-0 Niners. Next time they got the ball, 5 plays, 70 yards. Purdy to Kittle from 30 out, 13-0 Niners. Pinheiro got the extra point blocked. Then Arizona responds, 9 plays, 72 yards. Brissett to Michael Wilson for 34. The big chunk, 6 plays later, Bam in from 6. Bam Knight, 13-7 Niners. 4:58 left first quarter. Ryland would miss a 58-yarder to try to cut the lead to 3. And San Francisco took that short field, 5 plays, 52 yards. Purdy to McCaffrey from 9 out, 19-7. Pinheiro would miss that extra point early second quarter. It would get to 19-10, and then 22-10, and then end of the second quarter, Arizona 3rd and 13 at their own 43. Brissett picked by Malik Mustafa. San Francisco from their own 33 with 19 seconds left, 2 timeouts. They get to a Pinheiro 62-yard field goal, but Calais Campbell contacts the long snapper. So instead, it's a Pinheiro 47-yard field goal. Good, 25-10. Niners at the half. Third quarter, Arizona 4th and 1 at their own 40. A would-be Bam 60-yard touchdown run is nullified by a hold. The number of penalties, we'll get to that, and the number of completions for Jacoby Brissett in this game were something to behold. 28-10 Niners then, after another field goal. Arizona 1st and 15 at the San Francisco 27. Brissett picked by Diamador Lenoir. Great 64-yard return. San Francisco set up at the Arizona 14. 5 plays. Purdy to Kittle from 4 out, 35-10. And then Arizona 3rd and goal at the San Francisco 8. Brissett to Elijah Higgins on his way into the end zone. Stripped by Upton Stout, recovered by Keon White. It would end 41-22. They would trade some garbage touchdowns. Jacoby Brissett, 47 of 57 for 452 yards. His 47 completions are the most ever in a regular season game, breaking the record of 45 held by Jared Goff and Drew Bledsoe. Ben Roethlisberger also had 47 in a 2020 wildcard loss to the Browns. That was unbelievable.
Incredible.
The Cardinals outgained the Niners 488-281, but they had 17 penalties for 130 yards and were -3 in turnovers. Jacksonville -1.5 at Arizona. Split the difference.
Jags a heavy 2.5.
Okay. All right. By the way, Michael Wilson, 15 catches for 185 yards also receiving. Coming back on a numbers game right here at VSiN.
In analytics,
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Hour number 3 of a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 158. Gil Alexander, getting emotional.
He loves you.
Kelley,
I love you.
Kelley,
we
Bydlon.
love you.
Kelley Bydlon's here as well.
That's right.
We still got more games to get to. Looking for value. I'm not sure I've found that much this week thus far, quite frankly.
As usual, you're off by a couple points on the big favorites, and you don't feel like running to bet the dog.
Well, I don't feel like running to bet the Jets. I mean, I had tons of picks last week and it didn't work out so well. It was like 2-2, right? I had the Patriots and the Niners. But I was most confident about the Vikings and the Falcons. We saw how that worked out.
Yeah.
But this week, I think there's value on the Jets, but I'm certainly not racing to bet that. I think there's value on the Colts. I don't think that should be 3.5. I thought 2.5. But I haven't bet it yet. You know, usually I bet them right on the spot. I think that there was one earlier also Baltimore. What was Baltimore's number in the end?
It's 14. There's a 14.5 out there.
Okay, that was the Jets one.
Yeah.
And what's Buffalo at Houston?
Buffalo at Houston is Thursday night, 4.5.
Okay, so no there. I just think it's sparse at this point.
Yeah, I didn't have many bets on open.
Yeah.
I made 3. We've gone over 2 of them, I believe.
All right, still to come this hour, by the way. Adam Burke's going to join us, give his college basketball plays, and Kelley is going to recount his Saturday evening at Resorts World.
Mm-hmm.
He went scorched earth on Twitter. Texted me earlier, in case you missed it. He was like, hey, I need you to stop me if this is good. I'm like, no, go ahead. Keep going. All right, what's next?
Next up, we have 425 Eagles and Cowboys.
Eagles and Cowboys. Cowboys play tonight again at the Raiders. Eagles coming off that Sunday night win yesterday against the Detroit Lions. This is from Pro Football Talk about that game. He goes, there's a time and place for big onions. Against an Eagles offense that was teetering on the brink last night was not the time for the Lions to give them a lifeline by going 0-5 on 4th down. That's from Pro Football Talk. Yeah, but again, I agree. I mean, I was saying that during the show. I agree with that. Football analytics, following football analytics, gospel-wise, not often the move. Especially when your quarterback, Jared Goff, clearly was not in rhythm yesterday. Clearly was in over his head. Philadelphia 8-2 versus Dallas 3-5-1 heading into tonight's game. I'll say Philly -7.
Oh, boy, you are heavy. No, Philly, 4.5-point road favorites.
Give me the Eagles.
All right. Bill Alexander in on one.
That's not going to end well for me. That just feels like it's not going to end well.
With Danny on board, I don't see your guesses anymore. Man, oh wow, 7. All right.
I just think I just don't understand. Like, are people really acting like the Cowboys are good?
No, I think they are look, I'm on them tonight. I think they are a brutal team to bet on or against, right? Because the offense can be that good and the defense is that bad.
Here's what I will allow. I'm not running to bet this because I'm basing this on what I've seen from the Cowboys defense. They now have reinforcements. So
that's true.
If we see something markedly different tonight, I would not. That's why I'm not racing to bet the Eagles, though. Because I could be, if I see something tonight, I know it's against the Raiders. But if they look good tonight, that's a different personnel. Next.
All right, next up, 4:25 Eastern. Thank God they have this one in the late window. Falcons at Saints.
This is the one game we didn't talk about. Falcons lose to the Panthers. Falcons drop to 3-7. This is the 3-7 Falcons at the 2-8 Saints. Oh, boy. And as we've learned, there's no Michael Penix this week, and there's no Drake London this week. Mm-hmm. So that's going to change my guess.
Yeah, his number's been on the move.
Yeah, it's going to change my guess. Because before that, I would have said Atlanta -1.5. Now this should flip to New Orleans to me. Carolina yesterday, first time they had the ball, 73 yards, 4th and 2 at the Atlanta 42. Bryce to Xavier Legette. Or is it Legette? Legette, we decided, right?
Yeah.
For 21.
Pretty sure.
5 plays later, Bryce to Tetaroa McMillan. Don't call him Tet. He doesn't like it.
Caught that as well, and he has gotten a lot shorter all of a sudden in Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, from 7 out, 7-0 Carolina, 5:25 left first quarter. Then the Falcons respond time and time again. 4 plays, 75 yards. Penix to London for 30. 2 plays later to London for 41. Then Bydlon in from 4, 7-7. Next time Atlanta had the ball, 95 yards. Bydlon in from 1, 14-7. Next time Atlanta had the ball from their own 41, Penix to London for 22 to the 2. And after a defensive hold, Algier in from 1, 21-7 Falcons with 1:41 left in the half. It would be 21-10 at halftime. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm a genius. Genius Falcons pick. And then, not so much. Third quarter, Carolina, 5 plays, 68 yards. Bryce to Legette from 36 out. Beautiful pass. 2-point try fails. 21-16 Falcons, 12:04 left third quarter. Then Atlanta, Natrone Brooks fumbles on the ensuing kickoff. That's when I knew. I'm like, if something bad can happen in an NFL, to me on my bets in the NFL, it will. Carolina set up at the Atlanta 32, 4th and 1 at the Atlanta 8. Bryce sacked by Caden Ellis, though. Really stopped short on a run. So I was given a reprieve. But then on Atlanta's next possession, Penix is hurt, and as we found out this morning, could be season-ending. Of course, we love the whole sentence structure of breaking news, potentially season-ending. Because, Kelley, you could walk out of here. Right now, Kelley's in a potentially season-ending situation.
That's right,
now as well.
man. That's right.
Potential is very broad.
Could potentially get in a car crash. A lot of things could potentially happen today.
All right, don't say that out loud. 21-19 Atlanta now, late third quarter. Cousins is in, and Cousins looks terrible. Atlanta punt. Carolina down 2 from their own 7. 4th and 1 at their own 33. Dowdle for 2. Rico Dowdle. 4th and 1 at their own 44. Bryce trips over the center. Atlanta still up 2 with the ball again. Set up at the Carolina 40 with 3:02 left. They have to settle for a Zane Gonzalez 52-yard field goal. Kirk Cousins just not looking good. 24-19 Atlanta with 2:43 left. They're covering, Kelley, with 2:43 left. I'm still going to win this, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Carolina from their own 35. 4th and 4 at their own 41. Let's go. Stop them. Nope. Bryce to Jatavion Sanders for 10. 2 plays later at the Atlanta 38. Dowdle to the house. Except he steps out of bounds at the 10. So it's 1st and goal. Sack, then incomplete. Then it's 3rd and goal from the 12. I'm going to win this, right? I'm going to cover. Nope. Bryce to McMillan. Touchdown. 25-24 Carolina. 2-point try. Bryce to Coker. 27-24, 108 left. And then Atlanta gets a Jamal Agnew 40-yard kickoff return to set them up at their own 45. They get it to a Gonzalez 45-yard field goal barely inside the left upright. Barely. 27 apiece, we're going to overtime. Well, probably not going to cover now. But Atlanta gets the ball first. Maybe I will. 3 and out. Carolina's second play. Bryce to Tommy Tremble for 54, mostly yak. What a run after catch that was. And then 3 runs into the line. Fitzgerald, 28-yard field goal. 30-27 Carolina ballgame. There it is. And Carolina sweeps the Falcons. 30-0 and 30-27.
They're a half game back in the NFC South standings.
Oh, my God.
Doesn't that sound crazy to say?
The Buccaneers, look in your rear view. That's the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, man.
Cousins. So Penix was 13 of 16 for 175. I mean, they were killing it with Penix in this game. Cousins. Is ESPN going to do a segment on who's to blame for the Kirk Cousins performance like they did with Shador?
Nah, we've talked about that too many times. Shador's shiny new.
Cousins, 6 of 14 for 48. That's not much better than Shador. Bijan and London just filling up the box score. 486 to 348 disadvantage in total yards for the Falcons. Now that we know there's no Penix in London, though, I would imagine the Saints are favored by 1.5 or no, I'll say even more. I'll say the Saints by 3.
Nah, you flip too much. It is still Falcons 1 or pick 'em. Is where that's at.
It didn't move any from.
Didn't move much. 1.5
Penix
pretty much on the open.
Where was it before the injuries?
Yeah, 1.5, 2 is where it opened up pretty much everywhere yesterday.
So it hasn't really moved at all.
Not a ton move. Yeah.
Give it some time. It's going to move. The great Tyler Shuck is going to be a favorite when all this is said and done, I think.
What an exciting game.
I so badly want to bet the Falcons, but I just can't do it again. I can't.
I'm checking around. I mean, like, there were some 2.5s out there yesterday, but that's really about as much.
I don't trust Kirk Cousins. All right, we spent a lot of time talking about the AFC playoff picture. Can we talk about the NFC playoff picture?
Yeah.
All right. How many teams?
By the way, real quick, since I brought up the NFC South, half game difference, right? Bucks are still minus 800 to win the division.
Minus 800. Rap Sheedy and Rappaport, Packers standout Josh Jacobs' knee is structurally sound, no surgery needed, per me and Tom Pelissero. I love when they say that. He's considered day-to-day, but could miss the game against the Vikings this week. So Josh Jacobs may miss this upcoming game against the Vikes. NFC. Who do you believe truly could be in the Super Bowl? Say yes or no. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Eagles.
Yes.
Rams.
Yes.
Seahawks.
Yes.
Lions.
Yes.
All right. I would agree with all that. Now, the rest of them. Packers.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You still believe?
Yeah. The defense is that good.
Buccaneers.
No.
Niners.
No.
Bears.
No.
That's 8. I'm not saying the Panthers. I'm not going to even mention them.
But the Bucks and Niners, like, they still got a chance to. It feels like those two have a chance to upset any of the teams we just named ahead of them.
I think
Are they going to do it several weeks in a row, though?
The Niners feel like a forgotten team.
Well, all of a sudden, don't look now, right? All of a sudden, every one of those offensive pieces is back. The defense is still a nightmare.
Defense still has Fred Warner is not walking.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
I just think them and the Bucks at the end of the day are going to be missing too many pieces.
I don't think the Bucks. I don't think the Niners, and I'm sorry, Wyatt Tomchek. I don't think the Packers either.
Yeah, I mean,
but Eagles, Rams, Seahawks, Lions, dude, any one of those four. Any one of those four. Mm-hmm. And in the AFC, any one of anybody. Seriously, I have no idea in the AFC at this point.
It's going to be fun.
I still don't have a matchup bet in pocket yet. Still don't. Coming back, Adam Berg joins us right here on A Numbers Game.
A Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back on A Numbers Game, live from Circle Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Derek Stevens, Shangri-La in the desert. Skill Alexander. It's Kelley Bydlon alongside. We get tweets at Beating the Book. Always appreciate it. Christopher Ritter. Am I losing my mind? Not saying he looked great, nor a franchise quarterback. But Shador looked better than anything I've seen from Dylan this year. As a Steelers fan, I hope the Browns suffer for eternity. Man.
So, wait, he's a Steelers fan?
Yeah. Kevin Ryan.
Was that sarcasm before it? I don't even know.
I don't know. He just wants to, whatever the case, he wants it to go bad.
I do think that needs to be brought up, though. However much crapping we're going to do on Shedeur Sanders today, like Dylan Gabriel hasn't exactly looked amazing all season.
No, he has not. Well, if only we had a Cleveland guest here.
If only.
Kevin Ryan, Gill, how about Romo saying, Mahomes has that look in his eyes and is in the zone, Jim? And poor Jameis Winston losing the game on, an interception in the end zone. Yeah. Las Vegas 514, yo, you are correct. It's Leggett. Remember, I work with his auntie. Yes, I remember you. That's why I said it that way. Ryan Hyatt, fact. The third hour now for a numbers game allows for a much more thorough and less hurried guessing lines. Very enjoyable to listen to. Still, we kind of miss the old Monday hair on fire, Gill, going fast with Kelley.
It's Gill and I have talked about this multiple times, too.
Yeah. Okay, about the Cleveland Browns. Let's start there with our next guest, Adam Burke, kind enough to join us each and every Monday as we get through guessing lines. He, of course, is a Cleveland fan of all kinds, including the Brownies. Adam, good morning to you. And let me just start with there. How are you feeling about the quarterbacks? What should the Browns do? And let me just give you this breaking news by comparison. The Jets, Aaron Glenn has just now announced that Tyrod Taylor is going to be the Jets starting quarterback. So I think that's probably the end of Justin Fields. I think. What do the Browns do here with Shedeur vis-a-vis Dylan Gabriel?
I mean, I think they just let Quinshon Judkins run the Wildcat and see what happens with that. The Steelers fan that wants us to suffer for eternity, buddy, we're already doing that.
That's right.
I mean, you really don't have to throw that out there. Look, I mean, it's very easy to scapegoat the quarterback, no matter what city you're talking about, and especially in Cleveland. But this roster blows, man. I mean, this roster sucks on offense. The offensive line is terrible. They lost both of their tackles in yesterday's game, too, which didn't help Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders out. The wide receivers are pathetic. I mean, Njoku and Fannin should just be out there every play, just run two tight ends every single play, because those are the two best pass catchers that you have on the roster. Look, I mean, you know what? As long as Bernie Kosar's liver transplant goes okay, it's a good week for the Browns. But this quarterback situation is it's bad. I mean, it's really bad. And look, I mean, I don't know how you thought this would go any differently, right? I mean, a third round pick, a fifth round pick.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel never really got blitzed in college because he got rid of the ball so quick.
That's right.
I don't even know if he knows how to read where pressure is coming from. And Shedeur is not an NFL caliber quarterback. I mean, we all knew that. So there was no other way for this to go other than the way that it's going. And I just hope that they get this first round pick right with whatever quarterback they take.
So this was my next question. So right now, the third pick of the draft, they're going to have to draft a quarterback, right? That's what's going to happen. They have to.
I mean, honestly, like they probably lose to the Titans at home, right? Like, I mean, I would do everything in my power to lose that game at home in a couple weeks' time. So maybe they'll get to pick first or second. I don't know. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, a long way to go.
Is there a quarterback in college that's jumping off the board to you, though, Adam? Like,
Who would you like?
Yeah, this whole Cam Ward thing doesn't seem to be working out, too. Is it another Cam Ward year, we think?
Yeah, I definitely think it could be. I mean, Fernando Mendoza's a guy moving up draft boards and, all of that when, like, he got no draft buzz when he was at Cal. So, now all of a sudden he goes to Indiana, he's getting a bunch of draft buzz. Maybe he's good, maybe he's not. I don't know. Honestly, I mean, based on what I've seen, and it doesn't help that his defense is terrible and his head coach is pretty bad too, I still think Sawyer Robertson at Baylor might be the best quarterback out of all of them that's going to be coming out here. Just from a measurables standpoint, he's mobile enough. He's got a pretty good arm. He's had to go out there and, play against a lot of, pass defense coverage because everyone knows that Baylor has to throw the football because they're either trailing or they have to win a 48-45 games. So I think Sawyer Robertson's a guy that I think has a, probably the best NFL future of most of the guys that are in the mix, but I do not trust this Browns front office to pick the right quarterback. So just hoping for the best.
I'm sorry, Adam. I'm sorry. It's not, you had a good Guardians year, let's put it that way. But then I guess you didn't have a Guardians in Classe and Ortiz. Okay.
I mean, honestly, like the Guardians offseason's been terrible.
Yes,
I mean, they lost their bench coach, Craig Alvarez. They lost their fielding coordinator, Kai Correa. So they've lost two really big guys, that Stephen Vogt relied on. And then, of course, the Classe and Ortiz thing. Yesterday was a buddy of mine's birthday. back in Cleveland. And I actually told him, I was like, I hope the Guardians sign Adam Frazier to a minor league deal as your birthday present, because that's just what their offseason is going to be.
By the way, just again, back to the Aaron Glenn thing. I have no idea what he's doing going with Tyrod Taylor. I mean, I don't know what that accomplishes other than they must be just so dunzo with Justin Fields, because there's no real logic to going with Tyrod Taylor. Speaking of the NFL, though, still, before we get to your college basketball plays tonight, Cowboys here at Las Vegas. You have a prop?
Yeah, I like Javonte Williams under his rushing attempts, under 17.5. I mean, if you look at the advanced metrics for the Raiders, in terms of specifically, rush EPA on defense, they're not very good. That's because they've allowed 12 rushing touchdowns. On the whole, they're third in the NFL in yards per carry allowed. So, this is a defense that has had problems in the red zone. They've had problems stopping the run in the red zone, but overall, they've been pretty good against the run. And, Dallas wants to be a pass-first offense anyway, understandably so, especially with CeeDee Lamb back now. So Prescott's got two bona fide weapons to go to, plus, pretty good tight end in Ferguson too. I don't see a need for them to really run the football a whole lot in this game. Now, of course, if the game state plays out in such a way that Dallas is up in the second half, this bet's going to lose. But Dallas's defense is really bad. Worst third down defense in the NFL. The Raiders, I mean, at some point, this offense has to look competent, I think. And why not do it against Dallas, who's a really, really bad defensive team? So I think this is a scenario where, the Raiders are able to, keep Dallas's offense off the field a little bit. Cowboys are going to want to throw the football. I like Javonte Williams under 17.5 rush attempts. And look, he's gone over this number 3 times during the regular season. 2 of those games went to overtime, and one of them was a tie. So it was a full overtime period. So he hasn't been able to do it in regulation. I don't think he really does it here tonight. So under 17.5 rush attempts for Javonte Williams.
Okay. Tonight, Cowboys, Raiders. Cowboys favored by 3, total 50. Adam going with Javonte Williams prop on the under there. Okay. To the college basketball scene. How's your season been going so far?
It's been really, really up and down. Down a little bit in college basketball. But look, I mean, all of these teams are basically brand new, and you do have a lot of new head coaches in college basketball, which is just the case when you have, 360 some odd teams. So it's been a little bit tricky, to kind of figure out what these teams are. Also, at this time of the year, much like we have tonight, you get a lot of really, really big favorites, and they're typically very good teams that they're either engaged and they show up or they don't. So, that's been kind of challenging, especially because, you try to play your freshmen as much as you can because you don't want to have to rebuild your entire roster year in and year out. So you try to throw these guys a bone, give them some playing time. It is this ultimate sport of bad beats, and second halves can be really, really ridiculous. So it's been up and down so far. But for me, college basketball is a sport where when I get some sample size, that's when I think I can really thrive, especially as, we look at strength of schedule discrepancies and stuff like that. So, just trying to, keep my head above water early on in the year, find out a lot about these teams, see if some of the things I thought going into this season are coming to fruition, and then really looking to hit it hard, once we get, kind of in between the holidays where I think you could find some really good value.
Speaking of big favorites, NC State, a 13-point favorite over VCU. Which way you go in this one?
Yeah, I like NC State in this game. So, this is going to be an up-tempo game. Phil Martelli Jr., the first-year head coach at VCU, he was at Bryant. They love to run. NC State's going to be just fine with playing at an increased tempo in this game. Will Wade wound up playing at a really slow tempo at McNeese State because they just blew out everybody. So there was no reason for them to show any urgency in the second half or anything like that. But when Wade was at LSU, they were a top 100 team in tempo. So I think he's okay with it. NC State is the much, much better offensive team in this game. They brought in 6 transfers that ranked in the 69th percentile or higher in points per 40 minutes, according to CBB Analytics. So their transfer portal class, very, very productive. VCU's not so much. Their 2 best transfers just came with Martelli from Bryant. Big step up in class when you go from playing in the America East to playing, in the A-10 and the Missouri Valley and the ACC, these non-conference games that VCU is going to play. So I think NC State just puts a big old number on them, and I don't think VCU can keep up. So I like the Wolfpack minus 12.5 in this one.
Oh, I know how much you love games like this. Colgate, 6.5-point dog at Siena. Which way you going there?
Yeah, these are my favorite kinds of games because I think there's a lot more value in betting the deeply under the radar games here. Champions Classic tomorrow night, so we'll get some marquee games. But I like the under in that Colgate-Siena game. Siena, of course, coached by Jerry McNamara, the Syracuse legend, who certainly had his career shaped by Jim Boeheim. So kind of gives you an idea how Siena plays.
Greatest Big East tournament ever. That's for sure. Jerry McNamara. Thank you, Adam. I wish only you and Cleveland the best. Really, truly.
Have a good one.
Coming back. We'll wrap up guessing lines next.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Las Vegas. This is the weekend. F1 happening. Plus, the Neon City Music Festival is here.
Let's go.
Free, all ages, celebration of music, food, and art. Electrifying performances from Good Charlotte, Deadmau5, Frankie Benjamin, Two Friends, De La Soul, Fits and the Tantrums, Red Farron, The Far Worst. I could continue.
I can't wait to see. I want to see Knuckle Puck. Keenan Thompson better be in that.
Hooba Stank. All of it. Bowling for Soup. The Festival Without Fences will bring you mouth-watering food, stunning 3D graphics on the Viva Vision screen, and jaw-dropping performances, all free. The fun starts Friday, runs through Sunday. Experience you won't want to miss. Book your stay downtown right here at Circa Las Vegas. Details at neoncityfestival.com. That's neoncityfestival.com.
Did you get my Keenan reference?
What did you do a Keenan
For
reference
Knuckle Puck? Did you ever see Mighty Ducks 2?
No.
Oh, God, I'm going to tell us in 1 minute. So the whole idea behind Mighty Ducks 2 was that the Mighty Ducks original team, and Gordon Bombay was such a good coach, Gill, that he took over coaching the United States youth team, okay? Now, he needed some outside help. He needed a ringer. Keenan Thompson came in to play on the team because he had perfected one shot called the Knuckle Puck, where he put the puck vertical and then would hit it, and there was such movement on the puck, like a knuckleball, that a goalie just could not handle it.
Great backstory.
There's your D2 breakdown in 1 minute.
I'm glad I came in for that. It's good stuff. We get tweets about the book. Rhodes knows what files does Kirk Cousins have on the NFL? The media and all of us kill Dangerous, and maybe rightfully so. But Mr. You like that gets a pass. What gives? Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm totally with you. Mike, Kirk Cousins looks like he went to like 55 years old overnight.
Yeah.
Mike Zill's Duke 90. At least the doctor roster is good at Case Western, and Bernie gets his transplant there, not UPMC Pitt. Famously, Pete Axtell was consulted for liver transplant at Pitt 30 years ago. Per Norm Chad, Washington Post, he threw the liver at the doc and told him he was going to live forever. Is that a true Pete Axtell story, or is that just lore? By the way, Bernie Kosar, shout out. Adam brought him up. I don't know if you've seen Bernie Kosar's videos on TikTok or on Instagram, wherever on social. He is on site, almost unrecognizable. And then once he starts talking, you're like, oh my God, that's Bernie Kosar. Well, apparently he got his transplant this morning, I'm told. Hopefully everything goes well. We're all wishing the best for Bernie Kosar. It's heartbreaking to watch it. Mm-hmm. And he's so upbeat in these videos, as his body is failing him. And I hope everything's okay. Torch D, the one who put the satin in your panties. Someone please talk about the Trey McBride. Oh, the Trey McBride technical foul yesterday. He picked up a first down and did the celebration that everyone does, but apparently his fingers were in the shape of a gun. So the ref threw a flag on the next play. Trey McBride gets another first down and does the same celebration, but this time with the straightest fingers I've ever seen. I thought it's a cart. I don't know if you saw this.
Well, there was also what? There was also a scuffle in between.
There was. So this is exactly where I was going.
Yeah.
So the initial Trey McBride flag was really a makeup call.
Yeah.
Because on the previous, I want to say it was the previous play. Maybe it was 2 plays. But right before that, Trey McBride almost took the helmet off of, was it Lenore?
I don't remember.
I think it might have been Lenore. Don't hold me to that. But he almost took the helmet off a Niner. And the Niner retaliated, and they threw the flag on the Niner.
Yeah.
And so right after that, they threw the flag on Trey McBride for no reason whatsoever. I didn't even see that as if they were in the shape of a gun, maybe that's why they called it. But I didn't even see that.
But remember, Gill.
Yeah.
You can have a cannon.
Yes.
Fire. You can have a cannon fire after a touchdown. You can have the squad full of muskets on the sideline, but you can't make that.
Kelley and I wish that this was our idea.
Yeah, I really do.
We can't remember what the
podcast
was to do this, but they made the excellent point that if the NFL is so sensitive to anything with gunplay, that when the Patriots or anybody in New England Stadium in Foxborough scores a touchdown, they should do a complete musket, like filling the musket with the powder and then doing the whole thing. Right. Because literally after Patriots touchdowns, right, or after the Bucks, they shoot a cannon in Tampa Bay. They do a whole Patriots thing in New England. It's ridiculous, the hypocrisy. All right, last two games.
Sunday Night Football, Buccaneers at Rams.
Buccaneers at the ramifications. Buccaneers fall to 6-4. Rams up to 8-2. Tied for the best record in the National Football Conference. Boy, Buccaneers, look, if the Buccaneers lose this, the Panthers are right behind them. My God. Baker Mayfield yesterday in defeat, 16 of 28 for 173. Sean Tucker, 19 carries for 106 and 2 touchdowns. He also got one in the air, too, didn't he?
Hey, look, there's Sean Tucker opening the flat again. That was cracking me up yesterday.
Can we check the Sean Tucker stats if he got a third? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'll check it.
By the way, update on Michael Penix. Ian Rappaport reporting that Michael Penix is now headed to injured reserve after aggravating the bone bruise and knee sprain from earlier in the season. Additionally, now there has been damage to the ACL, which could mean a full reconstruction. Oh, Kirk Cousins is up.
That's tough.
That is tough.
Yeah, Tucker, 19 for 106 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, and 2 for 34 with a touchdown through the air.
This is, by the way, again why I don't want to hear when Jaden Daniels gets hurt. I don't want to hear people, right? Because people aren't going to have the same reaction. But they're not going to be like, he's got to know better. He's got to know how to get hurt. People got to stop with that nonsense. Like when someone gets hurt multiple times. It's not because they don't know how to not get hurt, know how to protect themselves. It's football. By the sheer grace, you avoid injury. Jalen Hurts, by the way, there was a play where he was running out of bounds yesterday. He just barely got his foot up off the ground. Otherwise, he would have gotten completely wrenched as well.
I'm surprised that Bryce Young one wasn't worse. The way he went down at first.
He had to leave for a couple plays.
I was like, man, I was real scared initially after that one.
Rams yesterday, victory again over the Seahawks, where the Seahawks outgained the Rams. And it was really the Sam Darnold 4 picks, right? The -3 in turnovers that sunk the Seahawks, and they still almost won. Stafford was 15 of 28 for 130. Rams were outgained 414 to 249, but again, +3 in turnovers. Huge disadvantage in time of possession as well. I will say the Rams, I'll put it in no man's land, 5.5-point favorites hosting the Bucks.
Yeah, 6.5.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Thought it was a little heavy myself, but I think I'm staying away. Was on the Bucks last week.
I got a lot of leans this week, but not a lot of plays. I would lean Bucks.
I was on the Bucks last week at 6. The Rams are a better football team than the Bills.
Yes.
So 6.5 checks out to me, but it'd still be lean that way.
I don't know. The Bucks really should have covered yesterday.
Yeah, no, I know. They were right there.
Yeah. Monday night.
All right, Monday Night Football. Panthers at 49ers.
What were you going to say?
I was going to come up with something funny to say about the Panthers. The dominant Carolina Panthers.
The 6-5 Panthers.
One of these could win a division. The other one will not.
The 7-4 Niners. That's right. Bryce yesterday, 31 of 45 for 448.
Yeah, some of these passing numbers yesterday.
Bryce Young. Again, we didn't make enough of the Jacoby Brissett thing.
We did not. That's incredible.
Jacoby Brissett, once again, in defeat, 47 of 57 for 452. The regular season record for the most completions ever, 47.
I also like to think about it this way, is he had 2 interceptions, so 49 balls were caught.
By humans.
By human beings,
Only 8 hit the ground.
Yeah.
Bryce Young, back to Bryce, 31 of 45 for 448, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 5 times. Tedero McMillan, 8 catches for 130 and 2 touchdowns. Panthers outgained the Falcons 486 to 348. Brock Purdy in his return, you ask? Purdy, 19 of 26 for 200, 3 touchdowns, no picks. And McCaffrey, 13 carries for 81 yards and 2 touchdowns, 5 catches for 40 yards and an extra touch. 3 touchdowns total. As I mentioned, though, San Francisco outgained by those Cardinals, 488 to 281, but they too were +3 in turnovers. So this is Carolina at San Francisco. San Francisco's a better football team, right? Right? Question mark. Niners by 6.5.
Ding, ding, ding. Although we are approaching sevens in this game. There is a 7 at DraftKings.
I might take the Niners.
Yeah, I got close to it yesterday as well.
In fact, I am betting them right now minus 6.5. I'm betting them right now.
I think now's the time because they are all. Yep. It is 6.5 heavy. Yeah, I don't see a singles flat 6.5.
I thought we were going to get through guessing lines without me actually making a bet on the spot, but
kind of like the over in this game too. Totals at 47.5.
I don't know. Niners just feel like who's the forgotten team? This is a really weird, sort of vague question, but who's the forgotten team in each conference? To me, it's clearly the Niners in the NFC. No one's thinking about them. Who's the team in the AFC that nobody's thinking about? Is it the Ravens?
I'm trying to think if I no. Everybody's been talking about the Ravens every single week.
I don't think there is a forgotten team.
They were going to win the division even when they were all hurt and looking terrible.
I think the forgotten teams in the AFC are like the Jaguars and the Chargers, and they need to be forgotten.
I was going to say Chargers.
Yeah. That was such a no-show yesterday. All right, when we come back, Kelley Bydlon, Saturday night at Resorts World. Uh-oh. This could be fun. Next on A Numbers Game right here at VSiN.
A Numbers Game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Numbers Game back at Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gill Alexander. That is Kelley Bydlon. Ladies and gentlemen, we get tweets of beating the book. Grayson Rossi. Best part of the knuckle puck is when he's dressed as the goalie. Takes the mask off to set up the shot, and Iceland coach yells, "The goalie!"
It's amazing. I just explained more of the movie to Gill on the break. I love doing this.
He said it's amazing.
It's the goalie!
Brian Morianen.
Remember the evil Iceland hockey team. You got to remember that, Gill. So who do you make out to be the villain in the mid-90s? Iceland.
Brian Morianen. This just in. NFL bans shotgun formation due to the association with gun violence. It will now be the Care Bear formation with quarterback 4 or 6 yards back. Justin D. Wish I could have seen Gill's face during the D2 breakdown. Kelley didn't even get a chance to hype up the Bash Brothers.
Oh, Bash Brothers. There was the kid that they tried to bring in from Miami, Gill. He was the fastest skater around. Okay, fastest skater. He couldn't stop though. It's so silly, man. You're supposed to be like the best. It's like the best of the best youth players. Kid couldn't stop on skates.
And then here's this Jeff Natal. Hope I'm pronouncing that right, Jeff. Love your show with Kelley. I have one Circa Survivor pick left, and I'm wondering if you could share hedging strategies, when to do it, what percentage of the pick's value should you hedge? Thanks. Jeff, I'll give you my cleanest answer to that, which is, before we even get into that, think about selling a percentage. Like, before you get into the whole act of, going to sports books and hedging that way monetarily, the cleanest way to do it is just to sell a percentage of your existing entry. Do I think now is the time to do that? Well, in these markets, some people are paying more than the actual value, which I think is insane, right? I just think it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, one thing you need to know, though, about some of the third-party services, right? They take a percentage.
They do take a percentage.
Which I didn't fully know how much.
But I would just say if you have friends who want to buy, let's just say for face value, who want to buy 10% of it for face value just so you make your outlay back, that's still the cleanest way to do it. If you want to talk about hedging later in the season, we can do that. Okay, want to recap the bets first?
Sure.
Niners 6.5 versus the Panthers. That is actually in pocket for me. I lean Colts. I lean Jets. Haven't made those bets yet. Kelley.
All right. NFL tonight, I laid 3 with the Cowboys. Like them against the Raiders. Don't think the Raiders are going to be able to keep up with the Cowboys offense. At least I hope so. This is the second time I bet the Cowboys in the last 3 weeks, though, and don't feel great about it. 76ers laying 4.5. I believe this is out to 5.5 tonight. Against the Clippers on the back-to-back. I still kind of like the Sixers side. No Embiid. This team's actually played a little bit better with Embiid not on the floor. And then for NFL Week 12, Bears money line in on that, and then 2 totals. Seahawks, Titans under 42.5. Vikings, Packers under 42.5.
Adam Burke was on the show as well to give out some college hoops plays and a prop on tonight's game. First of all, tonight, he's got Javonte Williams under 17.5 rushing attempts for the Cowboys. Then in college hoops, he's laying the wood with the Wolfpack, laying 12.5 with NC State versus VCU. Colgate at Siena, he's got the under 148.5. And then Southern Illinois, he's laying 1.5. We didn't get to this one, actually. Southern Illinois, bonus play, laying 1.5 at North Dakota State. Adam Burke diving deep on college hoops tonight pre-flop. All right. Oh, one more. Giuseppe Betta. I always tell myself how unlucky I am when a team dominates, quote-unquote, except turnovers. This week I had a thought that one team consistently has a shorter field, which equals lower time of possession in yards. Not really going anywhere with this, just coming to terms that maybe I'm not unlucky, he says. Yeah, it's football. Football's funny like that, man. You can, it's like what Dr. Bob's rant last week. You can have the right side. You can make a good bet and still lose. That's why they call it betting.
I was kind of thinking about some of that, too, when you're going over that Rams-Seahawks, like the yardage differentials. Yep. It's like, well, when you're constantly starting with a short field, right, it's like you almost can't penalize the Rams for it because they're getting the ball at the 50 every time.
And so you call the game differently offensively, knowing that you have the lead.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday night, Kelley Bydlon, our own Kelley Bydlon, this guy right here, this guy disappearing before our eyes, went to Resorts World.
All right, try to tell us as quick as possible. All right, so first of all, I had a friend in town. He's got some work this week. We were going to meet up for drinks, dinner. Decided to do a Resorts World. Fezzik and I talked about this on the show on Friday. Resorts, just like multiple other properties in town, good on them for we getting better free play offers, some dining credits. So I was down here actually at Circa Saturday afternoon. Told my buddy, let's go meet over at Resorts World. First off, we played some. This is important to the story for later on. When we met up, we got a couple. We had a drink. He wanted to play a little blackjack, so we went and played some blackjack, just main casino floor. Played for probably 45 minutes to an hour. I lost a little bit of money. Okay, lost a little bit of money, but nothing big. Go to dinner, have a great dinner over at Carver Steak. It's awesome. And then afterward, he's kind of got to go. I sit around and play, go to the high limit bar. My guys Matt and Chris are there. They're awesome. I love the guys that work at Resorts World, playing video poker, and I'm hanging out. I know we got a couple people I even ran into at Resorts World that work there that listen to us every day. Thank you to those guys so much. I decided to go play a little blackjack in the high limit room. Okay, I'm just gonna go play for a bit, and then before I go home, Gill, I realize before I go in there, because I look out at the casino floor, and this is more of a story about gambling, playing blackjack on the strip, period, these days, than it is really about Resorts World. But you look out at the casino floor, and it's all automatic machine shufflers. There's huge, the 6-deck shoes going on with all these tables that are jammed with people. And then you got the high limit room that's so nice and comfortable and empty. Nobody's in it. And I'm like, all right, I just want to play for a little bit and get out of here. So I go to an empty table, and I play for probably about an hour and a half, okay? And people are coming up every now and then and jumping in, but otherwise it's just me alone. I am very aware going into this that there are very few people in the high limit room playing, and there's going to be eyeballs, okay? Played the whole thing as straight and boring as I've played a blackjack game in forever, Kill. I lost money on the last shoe that I was playing. I don't know how much I dumped. I'm having a good time. I like some of the people that work there. I know some of the dealers and cocktail waitresses. We're laughing. We're laughing about me losing. I'm kind of making jokes about me losing. I'm like, wow, that shoe was ugly. Let's get ready for a new one. Casino manager kind of walks up, and he's kind of chuckling along with the joke. He's laughing along with the joke. And he's like, hey, Mr. Bydlon, can I talk to you off to the side for a second? Like, what? What? Sure. Yeah, we'd prefer it if you don't play blackjack here anymore. So I lost twice on Saturday night at Resorts World, and was told to never play blackjack.
Wait a minute, you said you were playing it by the book. Weren't you raising your stakes though when it was favorable?
A little bit, Gil. Was I also staying at the table to keep the game going when stuff was down, the count was down? I was not counting cards. If anyone wants to ask that, I was not counting cards on Saturday night. Okay. I was out dinner having a good time. I wanted to play a little bit of cards. I'm playing double deck in the high limit room though. Sometimes it's impossible to not notice things, okay? Mm-hmm. And yes, I'm going to change some bet sizes because of that, but I was not doing anything egregious from that standpoint that I would say. People can disagree with me, that's fine. The way I was playing it, I knew there were probably going to be eyeballs on me if I played the way I would like to play, so I dialed it back. I just wanted to play some cards, have a good time. And I was told, no more. No more.
How do you react to this?
I was not happy. I was very unhappy. I mean, it was, if you could see my face, both of these times that this has happened, at the Ebb and then at Resorts World, just the pure confusion on my face, because I was playing straight, losing money, and still, we would prefer, by the way, was the word used.
Prefer.
Don't even know what that means, really. I was like, you prefer that I don't play here anymore? I can't play here anymore. I need you to say that. So that's kind of where me and the manager were having a discussion over that.
Did he finally say?
He finally said yes. Yeah. And everybody just passes the blame. By the way, he's like, "Look, it's not my call. It's not my call. I'm being told from upstairs. Right? That's how it always goes."
What else did you say?
I don't know what else I said. That I was going to be talking about it today.
The whole time Kelley is texting me. And he's like, I need you to just stop me from doing this. I need you to tell me to stop. I'm like, no, go ahead. It's fine.
It's so, yes, it happened there, but it's fine. There was a lot of different reactions on Twitter, and I kind of regret some of the stuff I did, but not really. The basic point is, like, if you're trying to play blackjack on the strip, these are your options pretty much. And it sucks. If you really want, like, I knew. Like, I thought there's no way anybody's going to flag me or get on me because I am playing boring and dumb, and I am not upping my bet as much as I would like to, Gill, as much as I would like to, and still I get the tap.
Did you see Steve Fezzik's reaction on Twitter?
Yeah, I did.
He goes, this is a really, really bad look for these guys. They've been mismanaged since the day they drew up their blueprints and decided to build a parking garage a quarter of a mile from the casino. Sharp. You're a total sucker, illegal bookie. You can play with them for years and years, no problem. But if you're just a decent player, nothing special like Kelley, that's the best part. But if you're just a decent player, nothing special like Kelley is, and you have a chance to win, they kick your blank out. Kelley is hardly what I would call a pro blackjack player. If I were you guys,
I'm not arguing with Steve. I have no problem with Steve sending this out.
I just think it's so funny that Fezzik went down this road on this.
Because his point is, and this is like,
I understand.
Me and Steve are always on the same page with this.
Yep.
Your room's empty, man. It's empty. Nobody's playing in there. Like, you're kicking out the people that are slightly above average players.
Someone asked him, is this a low-level flipping of the bird to Kelley? And he goes, no, Kelley's better at 21 than 99% of you. He's no pro. Maybe he breaks about even with his game. I'm sure he would agree. You agree?
Yeah. I agree with you.
You ever going back in there again?
Not playing blackjack there. Not going to be there for a while, that's for sure, Gill.
Kelley Bydlon. We've done all we can do. Prop points with John Hanson is next. Enjoy from VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.